Hola a todos, ¿cómo están? Bienvenidos a martes, martes de español. Ah, hacía falta decir eso. Today's Tuesday, Tuesday live painting session. So for today, two things. First one that is going to be painfully obvious is that we have to edit our palette out. Danny is here. Hola, Danny.
Hey, hola.
Hey, hola.
Hola a todos. Hey, everyone.
Eh, we have to edit the palette out because when we do images that are horizontal, when our proportions are horizontal, to fit the palette in means that we would have so much real estate on the screen to empty real estate really. And we have to, because our lens is not a zoom lens, we would have to put our camera, we would have to prop it up so high that it's painful. We've done it before, but it's almost like if I sneeze, the tripod is going to fall, the camera is going to fall. So it's always a bit hazardous. So we tend to opt to leave the palette out during these days. But don't worry, I'm not going to do anything weird in terms of palette, in terms of colors. I'm going to use my regular palette, so titanium white, yellow ochre, cad red, alizarin crimson, ultramarine blue, and raw umber. That's going to be it for today. Second thing is, I was thinking a lot about yesterday and how we didn't really do that much of a um, translation between the information that was in Christina's hair and what we painted. And what I mean by that is that it was a complicated form. Like the nature of those shapes was complicated. And we didn't really do anything to simplify it or to stylize it. I mean, I think I made it more like foliage, maybe, but maybe that's my inability to paint, hair, coupled with, shortcomings in my drawing. I don't know. But I realized that I didn't do that much to that kind of area of the painting. It was still a problem to solve, which made it super interesting. Today, I want to get into another problem where there may be not an excess of information. It's not an overwhelming amount of information, but still, it's going to be kind of difficult. So we're going to do like a roll of plastic bags. Um, and there's a ton of little minutia in the image that is natural to plastic, to a plastic bag, that can be super tough when you want to paint it. Uh, it serves no purpose to say I'm going to paint everything that I see there. I have absolutely everything that I see there. No, you're going to have to simplify. You're always going to have to pick and choose. What are the things, what are the moments, what are the instances of what you're looking at that you want to emphasize. So I thought that that was a nice way to tie it with yesterday. We're going to kind of fall into the same problem today, and hopefully we're going to solve it in a different fashion. I mean, I feel that if I don't simplify things today, it's going to be a really, like I said, overwhelming painting. As soon as you start deciding that you're going to look at every like little nook and cranny of your reference, or if you're looking at nature, and if you're just super conscious of all the amount of information that's in there, it can be super difficult to then try and simplify what you're looking at so that you could, kind of easily translate it into painting. So we're going to see how we do today. I think it's going to be tough, but I'm also confident that it's a really cool exercise. I've always said this, but just a bag of any type of bag, paper bag, it's usually one of the coolest things to paint because it has so many facets, and it just it speaks about form turning in a bunch of different and really cool directions, that it's fantastic. So if you don't know what to paint and you're itching to paint, just look at look at the bag, where the paper bag where maybe the delivery came from. So That's like super super easy. There's always bound to be like a bag of some sorts, a container of some sorts, lying around in your home, in your apartment. So it's perfect. Just put whatever light source that you usually use on top of that subject matter. In our case, it's just a window lighting, so it's side natural lighting. It's north-ish lighting, so it's pretty consistent. And that's about it. That's about it. So let's get started. I'm gonna
So,
start with a see, dime.
uh, so there's some people that are a little bit confused with the
Yeah.
hour of the that we're gonna start streaming. I was telling them that well, we have the is it called daylight savings? Yeah.
Well, we don't have it.
No, no, no. But
So the what we try to do is to kind of accommodate ourselves into a schedule that fits the world. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but that's kind of what we try to do. And usually when streaming around midday or after lunch, it's like the best moment where, you know, people in Europe are going to be somewhat late at night, not super, super late at night, but it's going to be around 8 o'clock. It's not going to be super, tough for people to join in if they want to join in. And people in the West Coast in the US are waking up. People in the East Coast in the US are right now, because of daylight savings, they're sharing our time. So it's a bit easier for us right now. It doesn't cut our day weirdly in half, and it leaves us time. For example, in my case, if Samu shows up or Fer shows up later in the afternoon, and if she has homework, I can stop. After the stream, we can stop, and I can help her with her homework. So yeah, it was 2:30. So we were doing 2:30 Eastern time, which was 1:30 for us. But with daylight savings, since now we are sharing time with Eastern time, then 1:30 is maybe a little too close to lunch. 2 o'clock, perfect. It kind of fits into what the people that know a lot more about streaming say or recommend, which is always try to stream between 2 to 4. Anywhere from 2 to 5, 2 to 4. That's where you're gonna get the possibility of most people joining from around the world. So we are super proud that honestly our Painted Lives is an international effort. It always depends on people from all over the world, like literally all over the world, because we have shipped paintings all over this beautiful planet. We try to be conscious that there's going to be always a lot of people either watching us or listening to us from all over this world. So yeah, it's a bit easier when you go for 2 o'clock Eastern time.
yeah,
So
but sorry.
yep.
Just to get this clear, are we after the daylight savings ends? We're gonna keep 2 p.m. or 2:30 because I said 2:30, but that
Mm,
was maybe because I
yeah,
didn't
but
know.
that's gonna
So
be but we shouldn't worry about that. That's
okay,
changes
so
again
no, no, no.
in
It's
I don't
just
know
for me to delete.
May.
Yeah, but to delete the message
Oh, because you
because
sent
I
something out.
no, no, no. I just answered.
Oh, okay. No, no, no. That's why. No, no, no. It's two. It's two.
Okay.
It's actually. It's always an hour, Danny. It's always an hour when it's daylight
Yeah,
savings.
no. So I write yes. Well, there's daylight savings. It'll be 2 p.m. Eastern time, so 8 p.m. for you because the person who asked said that in Swedish time it
Right.
was 8 p.m.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Yeah. So
and
that's.
and I said after it ends, we'll go back to 2:30. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. Yeah. It's we'll try to make it clear for you guys, and if anything, we'll just get into a habit of doing. I don't know if you guys. I don't know if you guys are subscribed to the channel. We have no way of knowing how many people like ring that little bell. So if you do, press the bell, you get notifications. And if you do get notifications, you'll usually get like a little notification saying, "Hey, we're gonna go live in." We can actually do
a countdown. Yeah,
right, like a
we could
countdown or
like
like a little
schedule the
thumbnail
video.
or something to say, this is, but we have no way of measuring how many people actually see those things. So
Yeah.
it'd be good to know. Like, let us know if you guys actually, or pay attention to those things or not really.
Yeah, so they're saying I've turned on notifications anyway, so I got notification on my phone, and they're saying they're subscribed. So yeah,
Cool, cool. So yeah, so we'll try that. But for now, yes, it's gonna be 2 o'clock Eastern time. I know it sounds weird. It sounds even weirder when you say GMT -5.
yeah, which is
So
our
which is
time.
our
Yeah,
time.
people
But
get super lost with that.
yeah, I remember in when we started doing the Instagram ones many years ago. We would say GMT -5, and
And they
people were
were
like,
like,
"Okay, I'm
"What are
completely
you
lost.
talking
Like, is that
about?"
a Colombian thing or is
Yeah,
that?"
because I think that's super geographic.
Yeah, yeah, that's actually like the proper way.
Yeah.
Eastern time is
And I
is
remember that I told you
yeah.
that. I was like, hey, I think everyone would understand if you put GM -5.
No,
And
nobody.
yeah, they were super
Yeah,
lost.
nobody's used to that. And I know that Eastern time it does speak solely about the United States because we don't say Eastern time or
No.
Pacific or Central. We don't say anything like that. I mean, our time is like I don't know. We never think about what play like I never thought of Colombia time GMT -5. You know
Well,
what
I
I always
did,
think?
but because I was super nerdy with that.
But you know
Remember
what
that
I
I
always
told
see
you
when we have to put our time in the computer that
what?
it says Bogota, Lima.
Yeah.
It's shit. It's like
But that's
all
the
these
GM. I mean, when you buy a computer,
right
you
when you're
have
setting
you
it
have
up.
like a little map,
Right, right,
and you
right.
can move like the coordinates to know where's your GM, to know
Yeah,
what's your time. But
I
yeah,
know,
people
but
don't realize that
yeah,
that
but if you
is.
ask people on the street like, "Oh, what GM, what
G-
meridianos? ¿Cómo se dicen? ¿Cómo se dirán los meridianos or
no sé, es meridiano geográfico.
yeah, yeah, but if you ask people like what time zone they're in, like most people don't know. So,
Yeah. So yeah, they're saying I got the bell notification at 2:05. Um. And Rajita says I do, and I click the notification when I get it. And they're also saying that the countdown is nice.
okay,
So
cool.
we could
So
do that.
yeah, we'll start doing that. I also don't know how many people look at the Oh, okay. So the countdown, are you guys referring to the countdown, the Instagram
No,
countdown or the
I think they're referring to, because that's the name of the YouTube countdown, because you schedule it,
right.
and it has like a, like, I think it counts from 10 to 1 to go live.
Okay.
So it's like a literal countdown
Right, right,
for
right.
the
Like
live
the
to appear.
right, like that, but that's also the Instagram little thing that I've done in the stories.
Yeah.
So again, I don't really know how many people watch that or use that. So it's
Yeah, they're
actually a good
saying, oh, sorry.
No, no,
Sorry.
no. Dime.
No, they're saying the YouTube countdown with the thumbnail,
Okay, awesome.
with the
So
waiting room. So yeah, the one that I was saying.
awesome. So we'll try to do that one too.
Yeah. They were asking, why don't you guys get daylight savings?
Because we are in the equator, so we don't
Yeah.
need it. We're always like no, not literally. We don't need it because our sunrise and sunset does change ever so slightly depending on the months, but not as much as people that have seasons.
Yeah, because we don't have seasons here
Right,
in
right.
Colombia.
Yeah, if
So
you live in the equator, around the equator, in the planet, you don't get seasons. So for us, it's just gray
all
all
year.
year.
Yeah.
And when it's sunny, it's really not hot as in places that are literally hot, like places that are sea level that are super hot and humid. No, the thing is we're so high up in altitude,
Yeah.
Bogota, that when you get like blue sky and the sun is beaming down, it is like you will get burned. Like and not me. I mean, I'm the fairest person in the world. I'm like super transparent. But even if you are, if you're darker tone, like there's a ton of people here, like for example, my sister Kata, that she has, way way darker skin than me. If you are walking around, from 11 to 2 in Bogota, you'll get sunburned, like really badly sunburned. Even in a day like that this is like super grayish, like overcast. Oh, there's so many tourists that come here and think that because it seems like a super gray day, they feel like, "Oh, okay, I don't need anything. I can wear like, I don't need to wear sunscreen or I don't need to wear like a cap or
Oh, but
anything."
that's
No,
super
that's
wrong.
yeah,
Yeah.
first mistake. First
Yeah.
mistake. So that's why I also wear a cap because I'm super fair skin. Danny and I, used to, I mean, pre-pandemic, we used to walk like crazy. We still walk
Yeah.
a lot, but that's our, primary mode of transportation. We don't own a car. Um, so, but we used to walk a lot, and, my bald head, I would never be able to take, one day without, like a baseball cap. And if I'm walking on the street, like that would be terrible for me. So, I'm trying to figure out my proportions because right now I feel that this is a little too chunky. But the thing is, I feel that if I, cut into it and if I make it narrower, it's going to be smaller. Then it's going to be a nice kind of push towards the right with this shape, which is going to be pretty cool. And that's cool, but it's going to give me all this space, that I have to deal with. Well, not so much here because that's the shadow. That's a little cast shadow that's going to be really nice. But I'm still kind of hesitant in terms of what to do with my proportions. We'll see. We'll figure it out slowly as we paint along. But I think it's gonna be fine. So I'm using that watercolor paper that I usually use. It's a very very cheap watercolor paper. As you can tell, it's super super grainy. I think I used it actually. Regita
Oh yeah,
is
Regina was
here.
commenting.
Yeah, so Regita's painting that, well, the one that she won yesterday, congratulations, and the one that you actually have of Fer is actually that watercolor paper. It's a very inexpensive watercolor paper. Um,
But Regina has the painting of Fer.
I think so. The one of the sheet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm almost
Yeah.
positive. Yeah, you could correct us, Regita, but I think if my memory doesn't betray me, I think so.
Yeah. So she was saying, uh, Colombia sounds so much like India, where I'm from. Literally everything you say sounds like you're talking about the city I grew up in.
That's super cool. I know that they're very different cities. I'm positive,
Yeah.
but it's so cool that you realize that even though places can seem different, they can feel the same. So that's actually pretty amazing.
They're saying, do you miss seasons? I would feel totally lost without seasons.
I don't. I mean, I have to admit that I like if I'm able to go to a place and I can see snow again. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's a cool thing. I don't Danny, did you had you seen snow
Oh,
before
cool.
going to Michigan?
Oh no.
Right, right. So the first time is amazing.
Yeah.
First time is super cool for
Yeah,
us.
and I was like I was feeling so good in the cold. Like
Yeah,
I
no.
wasn't suffering at all. And
No.
we when we were in Chicago, I told you that it was I showed you the news because you
Yeah,
didn't
one of the
believe that.
coldest days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and it was super cold, but I was feeling so good. I mean,
Yeah, 'cause you had a good jacket too.
yeah, no, yeah, of course, but like I felt that I could breathe.
You could
Breathe,
breathe.
breathe.
Okay.
Sorry, sorry.
Okay,
Breathe.
people know that now, Danny, that
Nicolas.
if
That I
if
could
you want
breathe.
Danny to breathe, she
I
needs
don't know how to
cold.
pronounce something, so just let me be. But I thought that I could breathe. Am
Uh-huh.
I saying it okay now?
Oh, can't stop it.
Like better than here.
You could breathe better while breathing.
Yeah. Uh, so Rajita says
You yourself walk into those things, Danny. Like this is
no,
all
no,
you.
because you never let the things go.
No, but I could breathe better in the cold. That's
I
literally
was
what you
trying to
said.
say breathe.
Yeah,
You know that
well,
I get a little bit nervous when I'm like talking in
breathing.
English here, like live. So Rajita was saying, um, yay, yes, yes, that's the one I have. That's the one I have, and the paper is awesome. So yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Um, they're asking, what is that object? A rolled plastic bag?
Yeah, just a roll of plastic bags. Just that we try to be like we can talk about this for like a second. We try to be very environmentally conscious. There is a really good, I would say, effective program in Bogota
Yep.
for recycling. We do also buy those biodegradable bags.
Yeah.
We do reuse a ton of paper bags and a ton of stuff that we collect. But I'm gonna be super honest. Even like with those biodegradable bags, they're so expensive. I mean, they're ridiculously expensive. So there's always like this weird thing where where you're trying to strike a balance between, yes, I'm doing my best, but I'm also, I'm also conscious that sometimes doing your best also means like spending 4 times as much for things that you would get. So yeah, we try to be super conscious about, and there are programs even like in grocery stores, they won't give you bags. I usually you could ask Danny. I have my backpack.
Backpack.
I
Yeah.
carry my backpack, my green kind of Jansport backpack everywhere with me, and that's where we put all the groceries. That's where
Yeah.
we put,
And we
like,
also
we
have
carry everything
a
there.
car, like
Yeah, we have like a little cart that we take to the
yeah.
grocery store.
And
Yeah,
also we have the reusable bags for fruits and all that stuff. So,
right.
yeah.
But having said that, I do use a lot of, and I guess I could do better. I'll try to do better, but I do use quite a bit of paper towels to make up for the fact that I don't use solvent. Those have to go somewhere. That's always kind of difficult. There's not really a particular place that you could dispose of stuff that has like oil paint. Much better although it's much better to have paper towels than just having these rags that are soaked with oil or solvent that can be just a flammable, huge flammable problem. I think that question of being environmentally conscious is always a tough one when you decide to paint. I think that there are alternatives, but from everything from the paper to your brushes to the production of paints, everything, you're gonna start to see obstacles everywhere. I mean, if we wanted to be wholly environmentally conscious, we would just have to go to the mountains if we have mountains, and just mine for pigments, for local pigments, and then just paint with those, and use brushes. For brushes, we would have to use, oof, it's getting complicated.
Our
Maybe,
own hair,
yeah,
maybe.
our own hair, or pigs that we
No, but
have
pigs, no.
grown. No, pigs that have been naturally, maybe you just shave them from time to time, and you don't eat the pig, you just have the pig in your farm. I don't know. I'm trying to find like a way, but honestly, it's always going to be difficult. Always going to be difficult. So yeah.
Yeah. So Rajita was saying, I know what you mean, Danny. The cold air is crisp and feels good to breathe in. So yeah, thank you, Rajita. Um, they're saying, yeah, cheap watercolor paper usually yields the best results because if you're in front of one, how do you pronounce that?
Dime cuál.
Arch? Art is
Arches? Arches?
ARCHES. Art.
It's probably Arches paper. El papel
Yeah.
Arches?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Arches or a Xander's. I'm like, this better be a good painting.
Oh
And then
yeah.
2 minutes later, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
have you tried the arches? Did you say
Yeah, the oil
arches
paper.
oil paper?
Yeah, I
Yeah, they're
did.
asking.
Yeah, I did. Somebody, and I can't remember, so I apologize for that. Somebody gave me one of those papers in one of the workshops that I taught. I think that one was probably in the U.S., and I used it for like a little bit. It's nice. It's nice paper. It's more expensive, I feel. I mean, moleskins are not cheap. I would say that as far as notebooks, or paper that comes in a sort of sketchbook goes, they are fairly expensive. They're not really quite accessible, I would say. Uh, but I don't know how they would compare. Like if I take every sheet of a moleskin, how would they compare with an Arches paper? It's probably Arches far more expensive, I would feel. But yeah, I tried it. Nice. Again, nice, but I always go back to the same problem that if I use it, then I have to order it. Like that's that's our life here. If we like one of those things, chances are we have to order it, be it through whatever art store or whatever carrier, whatever, wherever you buy your stuff from. We're not going to name names, but we would have to buy it. So it's frustrating because, like I was telling you guys the other day, I I was trying to get some of my paints, and I ordered them, and they canceled my order for some reason, no reason, and just it's really kind of annoying to depend on something and then you order it and then it never comes, or you just get a notification that you're going to be refunded, but they're not going to ship it to you. It's always kind of annoying. So uh, the best thing to do is just to buy whatever you can get locally. I guess it doesn't have to be locally produced, but if you have some sort of art store or craft store around, then that is somewhat dependable. Like our art slash craft store was where we bought the PBO Bindex, the binder,
Yeah.
the transparent acrylic binder. And at some point they were like, "Yeah, we're not importing that anymore."
Oh, but now they're having it.
Yeah, but
They have it back.
sporadically. For example, today I looked and they had none because
The,
today we were there and they
yeah.
had none. So it's really annoying when you start thinking that you depend on all these materials when in fact you really don't. I mean, it's best if we never kind of create a relationship between those materials, like specific branded materials, and our own painting practice, because the moment we realize that we can't get them for whatever reasons that are not dependent on us, either paying for them, or maybe at some point they become too expensive and we just can't afford them anymore. It's really really annoying how we can convince ourselves that suddenly we can't paint because we can't get the materials that we think or we deem necessary for our own painting practice. So yeah, it's kind of annoying, but
Um, are you painting from life?
no, I could have put this. The only reason that this is uncomfortable, this would be uncomfortable because this would be like a super easy painting to do from life, honestly. Um, the only thing is that you guys, I think some of you guys, not maybe not all of you, have seen our setup,
You want me to take a little
and
peek?
if you can,
Okay.
and our setup is not professional looking. It's not kind of simple. It's not really made for painting. I mean, this is like where I paint, and this is totally fine for me. But I also realize that it's not at all like the best setup. We just kind of work around the variables in the space that we have. So it just makes it super difficult to set something up and to be able to look at it and to be able to paint it. Like I said, it would be totally fine. I was super, super happy to, in the workshop that I did in Liverpool, to go back to painting from life. And it's an amazing experience. It's this, I mean, in many ways, it's just the same. It really is just the same. It's painting is painting is painting. But yeah, but in many other ways, just having that experience painting directly from nature with your model breathing, moving, all these things that mean or that remind you that you're working from life, they're just really wonderful. So this would not be the case with this roll of plastic bags, but it doesn't breathe, it doesn't move, it would remain completely static. Probably my appreciation of subtle changes in hues and just temperature, just subtlety, would be far greater if I was painting it from life. I guess that would be the one big difference.
Yeah. So I'm trying to put the image of the
Yeah,
setup.
if you've never seen our setup, just you know.
So this is our setup for you guys to see it.
I hope that doesn't scare people off. It's like, oh my god.
What is this? Um. So
So I'm doing Again, first things, I mean, it's super, super simple. And with a complicated subject matter, with a complex subject matter, the the very best thing you can do is to make it not complicated, but to make it simple. And that's what we're trying to do right now, is to take a lot of information and just to make it super, super easy to digest. So that's kind of what I'm going for right now. And eventually, we'll just begin to break it down into smaller shapes, smaller and smaller and smaller shapes. And we'll see how that begins to go.
Um, they were saying, "Hi, Danny. Do you know Fernando Rosas, the sculptor? When I saw your sculptures, amazing. I immediately thought about him.
Uh,
Also, can you tell a bit about your sculptures? Is there a story behind them?" So, thank you. Um, and maybe you say that it's similar to Fernando because I have a picture online of a sculpture that Fernando did that Nicolas bought for me as a birthday present. So maybe that's why you think it's similar, but thank you. And oof, I
yeah,
don't know how
it's
to.
a super local, complex story.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I'm not gonna do like a summary, but that was for my thesis. I started carving for my thesis, so that's why you can see like the installation of all the little pieces. But yeah, it's like a super complex and like a super long story. So
Right.
yeah, like
If
a
I would
summary, it was for my thesis.
can I give it a shot to be like in super broad terms? I think you were
Mm,
trying to materialize a person that is part of your family history but is
yeah,
also like a stranger,
but
and you're
not.
trying
Yeah,
to like,
yeah. Like I was
like give
trying
it
to.
form, give an idea form
Yeah, like I was
by
trying.
repetition.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was trying to. Yeah, yeah. So you. That was very accurate. Like yeah, I was trying to feel a little bit more tangible, maybe
Hmm.
the idea that I had of this person that was part of my family history. So yeah, but it was like a maybe a year and a half project, the
Hmm.
thesis. So yeah, it was super super long, and for that time I had 49 sculptures, like little sculptures. So
Well, they ranged in size
yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
complexity and
Oh, but they are little. I mean,
yeah, but
like the biggest of
well,
them
they're
is
not.
like
Yeah,
a
they're
hand.
not. Yeah, they're not like, you know life-size sculpture by any means. But
Yeah, yeah, but thank you so much. Um, uh, they're saying let's do a Danny episode. I wouldn't know what to say. I mean, I
oh,
would be
I can.
super scared.
I'll gladly like shut up and you just
Mm,
talk for.
no, but you're the one that always talks. So
Okay, that sounds like a bad thing.
no, that's a good thing. I mean, like because I love to listen. I don't know if I could do like a 20-minute video talking. Like I would have to
Yeah, you
prepare it.
could.
Yeah, but I would have to prepare it like so much. But yeah, thank you.
Or
Um
like me, you just wing it.
um so
I know this is super simple, really. I mean, and I don't want it to be awfully complicated from the start because it wouldn't make sense. Also, mm, with this paper, I feel that you have to put a lot of paint down until the surface kind of becomes almost like impregnated with paint, and it'll let you push paint a little bit more, or it'll let the surface kind of like um your latter strokes are going to feel that they are indeed on top of the first strokes you put down. But I have a feeling, now that I've used this paper for you know quite a lot of paintings, it's probably like I don't know how many paintings have I done on this paper. Maybe 40 paintings, probably. Um, I've noticed that the like the tempo of it sort of demands a very specific tempo when you're painting. And I've noticed that it's not great if you're just pushing and pushing, you're just trying to push to rush the paper to do something that it can't do. So, so we're going to try to be mindful, kind of respectful of that while we're painting to see if we can access, those moments where the paper is just very grateful that you've taken your time with it, I feel. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Again, the idea is not to rush it to rush so much so that your paint doesn't feel like it's just superficially sitting on top of the paper. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Um, they're saying you seem so effortless in choosing a subject to paint. Was it always like that, or did you had to grow into that mindset? I struggle with this matter most of the time.
That's a super cool question. I think at some point, like for sure, because and I guess that this has to do with me having studied illustration. Um, I for sure was taught that you are what you paint, right? So your subject matter is of the utmost importance. Like, you can't really have a desire to paint without having this kind of vision of what you want to paint, which is tied to why you want to paint it, right? That's usually what, even like I would say as a teacher, when I was in the fine art faculty, like, why did you choose that subject matter? Like, what are you trying to say through that subject matter? So you always have to question all those kind of steps that you take before you even, do a painting, before you even decide to put a brushstroke down. At some point, I started getting divorced from image making. I mean, I tried to explain this a little bit, and I kind of fumble and struggle trying to explain it because even for me, it just makes kind of little sense when I say those things. But I try to fight my way through it because I know it to be true in my case, which is that it sounds ridiculous. Like I said, it sounds absolutely absurd. Um, to say that you're divorcing yourself from image making while you're painting an image, right? Like it doesn't make sense. If you don't care about images, you can find many other ways to use art as a I don't know, as a vehicle for communicating something. Your stand on something. But it doesn't have to be through images. It doesn't necessarily have to be like visual arts. But I have this weird kind of fascination with images, but I also have this really kind of I am completely disconnected also. I'm completely understanding of how an image can be just incredibly powerful, and at the same time it can be highly superficial. And I don't know how to explain that, but for example, photographs don't mean that much to me anymore in the sense, and I'll try to give like a reason for this. Like, I don't trust photographs anymore. Whenever you see like, hey, this person was here, and I always think that could be Photoshop. Like, you could alter a photograph so easily that photographs don't really mean like, oh, this is what I was looking at some point. And I remember, this is funny, like a funny thing about photographs, but de pronto. But I remember when I would take trips, I would never take selfies in my trips. Like, I hate taking selfies, and um, and it's so strange because I would just take a photo of where I was, and I would never just show myself right there. And people were like, "Well, if we can't see you, we don't really know that you were there." So it's so weird. You even like take this image. You're the one who's taking this photograph, and you're saying, I took this photograph, like I was there, I was the person who was experiencing this. And then suddenly you know, there's doubt. You know, people have this natural sense of doubt creeping in, saying, well, we don't really know. We don't really know if you were there. It's kind of strange. It really makes you feel like that there's something very weird, very fragile about images. Like they can be super, super powerful, and people can make absurd judgments based on images, but they're also just so, you know, but they're like they can be broken so easily. ¿Quién era? Ah, uy. Yeah, we got a painting. Can I show you guys how we get sometimes paintings? Like we just bought. I probably, yeah, probably um bought this. Yeah. No, 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 ven. Así, así, no, no pasa nada. Ven, yo lo tapo, Lindita. No, no, no pasa nada. So I bought this painting from somebody, and this is how we get this painting. And I never tell people how to ship their paintings. This is like not on the person. Don't worry. And I'm sure it's gonna be cool. And we've certainly had to like I've had to like spritz water on top of drawings because we get them almost like as if they're like tissue paper. But this is so sad. Like people that like this company, for example, Pro Ships. This is because I think this comes from the UK. Look how we get stuff that comes from the UK. You know, isn't that sad? And we probably paid a bit of money for this, so I don't know. But yeah, but you can open it, Danny. But yeah, we don't have to show it because it's kind of painful for the person that maybe they shipped it and it was in perfect state, and it's just really painful to know that this is how we get it here.
Um,
Oh, that's so sad. I even forgot
yeah.
what I was saying. That's terrible. Yeah, that's
Uh,
super super sad. Anyways, no, no, no. I think let me get back to what I was saying. How I don't know. I'm in this weird relationship with images, with image making, because I do think that it's a wonderful exercise. I feel trying to translate how you feel about something or how you perceive something into paint. I think that's amazing. I think the fact that we as human beings have that desire to do those things, it's incredible. That speaks wonders about us as a species. But I also feel that we give images, we sort of idolize images to a point where it just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't seem healthy. It just really doesn't seem healthy. So instead of images being like the way we connect with our world, images many times become this thing that we have to venerate and we can't touch, and we have to, I've often spoken about this, but when you go to a gallery or a museum, you have to, stand quite far from a painting. You have to put your arms back. If you get too close, you're either going to get a guard telling you that you're too close, or you're going to get, an alarm just blasting because you suddenly, you were suddenly too close, and you shot this alarm, and it's crazy. It's really weird how something that we I think we naturally or instinctually connect with, and we have this desire to do, in order to maybe understand our place in nature, to understand our role in nature, to see how much we have learned from nature. Because I think that that's at the core of image making. We don't, we do it just because we want to emphasize the relationship that we have with nature. And it's so weird how something that's so kind of primordial and so old, this is older than any of us, older, this is as old as our species, becomes also this super exclusive thing that it's just, it has degenerated into certain dynamics that almost are pushing you out of the equation as a human being. And that to me, like I don't think I've ever had so much trouble with something when I try to understand where I stand in all of this, because I've always been fascinated by images, and I've always also wanted to never lose the kind of like my critical voice, and I've always wanted to understand why we feel a certain way about images, and how that impacts painting specifically. So very sad, but ah, oh, okay. So yeah, yeah, I had right. I had bought. Yeah, it was very sad. It's a drawing.
Of an artist that I love.
Yeah, I know, and I
Ah.
know. I was get
No, but this one's like a postcard.
right, but I know the drawing now. It's super sad that we got it that way.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
No,
Oh wow. Yeah.
it's
It's
like a
like a
tissue paper.
yeah. Oh, that's so
Yeah.
sad. Yeah. Ah.
Yeah.
Anyways, but we do it, when we buy things, we don't do it to collect. We do it just to feel that we had a little part in supporting artists that we admire. So, honestly, that's what's important. But we can wet that drawing, maybe
Mhm.
press it. No, it's going to be impossible,
No,
yeah.
but I don't know because I think the artists use sometimes like water soluble
Yeah, yeah.
things.
I
So
could no, but I've done Danny, I've done so many things to drawings. You could actually put so much fixative on your drawing that you can actually put it underwater. Like you could dip it on like a bit of water and then take it out
well, we should
and
try
then
it.
yeah, if you let me. Like if it's at a point of no return,
I love
which
that
it
you
seems.
say if you let me because you know that I love the artist. So
I know.
so another question. They were saying, "Hello, Nicolas and Danny. I was wondering if you would ever consider an Asian tour."
Oh,
I would love that. I
oh,
mean,
set it up for us
yeah,
and we are
we're there.
there.
Yeah.
Danny, you just said that and Danny is making her
I'm
bag.
packing. Yeah.
Yeah, she's packing right now.
Yeah. My
So,
super big luggage.
yeah. She's already thinking what sort of swimsuit. Yeah, shipping has always been kind of we are so aware of shipping
Oh,
mishaps.
no.
Yeah,
Oh. So it's also wet.
it's wet. Oh, so that's
Yeah.
probably why it got like so scrunched up.
No, that's so bad. Ah,
Yeah, no, we can fix it. I
no,
can
but
fix
look,
it.
I mean, there's like a wrapping paper, and the image is all over the
I know,
wrapping
because she
paper.
probably didn't even fix. She
Ah,
didn't even put fixative on it.
no,
The
that's
thing is,
so
you know what it is?
bad.
The thing is, the tube is like one of those paper, like toilet paper rolls.
Yeah.
Um, so that's never gonna be, that can never take the grunt of a international shipping.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna write to the artist just to let her know that maybe if she is sending stuff overseas, that maybe she could,
Put
try
it.
and pack a little
Yeah.
bit more solidly. Um, yeah, yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. I'm sad inside right now, but it's okay.
Yeah, I'm sad outside. I mean,
you know, you know what can make you feel better?
what?
An Asian tour.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But look over here.
Yeah,
It's so wet.
but you know what? But maybe it can tell a story.
Yeah,
It's
a sad
it's
story.
yeah, it's a sad story. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
tragedy, but I think that we can. I think that we can save it. Let me give it a shot, and I think that we can save it.
Okay. Um.
Well, I mean, not perfect, but I think that
No.
we can make it.
Oh, but everything would be better than how it is right now. So
Yeah, but we can make it kind of ugly, but super cool,
yeah.
and it'll be just a cool reminder of today. I feel. I like that too. Art
Um.
doesn't have to be perfect.
They're saying, are the live streams always 3 hours? No.
Um,
Like it depends.
Around-ish. Sometimes they're two. I don't know if you're
If
asking that as a good or bad thing, so I'm trying to read
no,
that.
I think they're just asking because the person who asked has been interacting a lot.
Yeah,
So maybe they're just curious to know like
maybe.
if there's like a limited time. But I think it depends a lot.
Yeah, it honestly, if I'm okay with the painting that I'm doing and I reach a point where I feel okay, then I'm like, yeah, I'm done. And if that's 2.5 hours, fine. But there's been videos that we were like 4 hours,
Yeah,
four and a bit.
I was looking and the short like the shortest has been 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Was that yesterday?
No, that was
I forget now.
October 6th.
Which one was it?
This one?
Oh, the one of Neo Rauch.
Yeah. And the
Yeah, that one came out quick. I just didn't know what else to do to the painting. Like, I don't want to just paint for the sake of painting. Like, if I feel it's done, it's done. You
and the
know?
one of Kim Jong-gi was 4 hours and 11 minutes.
Yeah, that
So
one,
it
because we were
ranges
talking
a
a
lot.
lot, and it was kind of cool.
I
But
think that was a Friday because
right,
Fridays
yeah,
we
Fridays
tend
were
to talk a
idiots.
lot. Yeah.
But let's be honest, I think almost every day is going to turn out to be Friday. So
Um, they're saying illustrator Jeffrey Allen Love said once that his dream is to roll a square of black ink on a page and have it be a finished illustration. How simple have you ever considered a painting finished?
oh, the like Whistler, I feel that to me is the sort of quintessential um, artist that explores like the limits of how simply to solve an image. It's amazing. Yeah, I'm obsessed with Whistler, and the reason that I probably am so interested in him is that when I was younger, I thought he was lazy. I thought he was super lazy, and then when I started to get older, and this is not like an older thing. I'm sure there's a bunch of people starting out in their careers that find Whistler fascinating. This was just a me thing, but when I got older, I was like, oh my god, this dude is way better than I ever understood, and I just started to obsess over stuff that he did. I read Gentle Art Gentle Art of Making Enemies, which is an incredible book on Whistler. I would recommend it to anyone, and you could buy it like super cheap. It's like a reprint of a very old book. And it speaks about the trials that Whistler had to go through in defending himself because people were accusing him of being lazy because he was solving paintings in a very kind of economic fashion. So it's amazing. It just tells a story, like it's a very tangible story about how art was trying to determine when something felt finished, when something was finished. They were trying to define it. And we have, evidence, if you want to see it that way, of people trying to, wrap their minds around the idea of what it meant, at least in Western art, of what it meant to finish something. So it was fascinating read, and it just gave me like a far better idea of who he was as a human being. And he was like a super, prick. He had like enormous ego. Whistler has to have one of the biggest egos in all of art history, for sure. Um, comparable to Courbet, or I don't know who else was like that people know that they were like a super egotistical painter. Yeah, when I think of ego, I always go to Courbet, Gustave Courbet, and Whistler. But I'm sure almost every single artist, we run that risk of having like a very fragile but very big ego. And yeah, I eventually just was able to contextualize Whistler better, and I just got fascinated with his works, and especially nocturnes, the nocturne paintings, and especially paintings where he was just trying to solve them in such a simple fashion, in such a simple way that I don't know. It was, for me, it was like, this is amazing. This is what I want to, I don't know if strive for. I hope that at some point in my life I can understand how to paint that way. I don't want to just paint quicker for quicker sake, or paint less for just because we can paint less. No, I hope it comes naturally. But I think I'm kind of in that path. I've often, I don't know if you guys have heard me say it, but I've often expressed how I would like the future that I envision for myself is doing these oversized sketches. So I would love to paint large, but I want the painting to feel like a sketch. So I would probably have to paint with like bucket loads of paint and like enormous brushes, like brooms as brushes, maybe, like mops as brushes. I would love that. Would love that feeling, like super physical paint. It'd be really cool. So
Mm, they're saying,
yeah, so Whistler. My answer. That was long-winded way to say Whistler.
um, wait. Uh,
So I'm slowly while you're looking for.
I'm sorry.
No. Don't worry. But while Danny is scrubbing through messages, yeah, I'm slowly, very slowly, trying to give this like roundness, trying to give it a little bit of character. But again, very simple, very simple, not complicated. I'm not committing to a ton of stuff. There's some stuff, especially around the sort of inner, role that I have to start to commit to. There's a little bits of mark making that I have to be kind of conscious about, and I have to try to go for. But that's about it. That's about it. Nothing huge. Just bigger shapes, and that's about it.
Yeah. So when they were asking about the time of like the duration of
Right.
the streams, they were saying it's a good thing. I love the 3 hours, but it's of course however long you want to do. And they're saying I think everyone in this chat could listen to a 24-hour stream with both of you.
Do you know?
I
You
don't
know
think
that I talked to Danny, and I was like, I wonder. And this is not. This is not like an ego thing. This is. Don't please don't mistake
about
that for this.
realities that we were
No,
talking
no, no,
about
no,
that.
no. Do you remember when I told you? Do you know? I wonder because I can paint. I can paint for a long time, like for a very long time. I know this about myself. Like if I am just immersed in my painting, like I could paint forever. Honestly, this is, and I don't see it as a trait. I don't see it
Oh,
as
the
something that I.
record you're
Right,
gonna
right, right.
say.
So I was wondering, like, I wonder if there's like a Guinness record of somebody painting like straight. Because initially I was like, I told Danny, you know what? I think I could paint for like 2 days straight for sure. Like for sure, I have no doubt. Like if I get enough like good sleep, and if I take, I don't know how many breaks they would give you like officially if you're trying to do one of those things, but I was like, I could paint for 2 days straight. Like I have no problem with that.
But then we
Not at all.
googled it.
Then we Googled it, and I think it's like more than
It's 60,
3 days.
60 hours.
No, but I think then they eventually broke that. I
Oh,
think
but
it's like 72
oh
hours.
yeah, because this says the longest painting marathon.
Right, right.
So, uh, so let me check. Mm, now I can't find it.
Yeah, but if I'm not mistaken, Danny, and I think because I started looking for that, I was like, this could be. I think when I saw 60, the 62, you said, Danny.
What?
Initially, did you say
60
62?
hours.
Yeah. When I saw 60,
Without stopping.
I was like, oh, that's like 2.5 days. That is crazy. Like, I don't know if I could stay awake for 2.5 days. That's my problem. It's not. I'm gonna be 100% honest here, and you guys could trust me because I really, when I paint, I have like a ton of energy. Ask anyone that has ever taken a workshop with me. Like, I have way too much energy, and it's like natural energy. Like, I don't drink coffee or like energy drinks, nothing. Like, I'm just like a naturally energetic, doughy, physically doughy for some reason. I wasn't gifted for that. I wasn't gifted the ability to turn that energy into metabolism, sadly. But I can go for a long time. But I can't stay awake. That's my weakness. I don't know. 2.5 days?
No, you could.
I could do 2 days for sure.
I don't think. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Like,
because
I'm not
like.
trying to be like
No,
the
you are.
the
But
bad
anyways, I mean, you should be in my camp.
the
But
bad
that's
guy
totally
here,
fine.
but I
No,
think
no.
you can't. I mean, remember when you had the monster?
Yeah,
Uh,
but that was weird. That was like, I'll tell this story like super quickly. when I did one of the well, it was my first Kickstarter book. I I was packing and shipping everything by myself. My brother was super nice to house me. I went to his house. This was in San Diego at that time, and he was super, super nice, super cool. But he was working, and his wife was working. Cynthia was working, and they have a couple of kids. So it's not like they can put their life on hold just to help me with my books. So I pretty much did everything. I'm not super proud to say I did everything. It's just it is what it is.
Well, I helped you with the
Yeah,
lists.
right.
Just
You
that, I
helped me
mean.
from here because I was the one that ended up traveling. Because I don't know, at that point, well, you had to like do a bunch of your own stuff.
And I
So
had to work.
right. So
So,
yeah, so I couldn't just tell you, hey, come with me. But yeah, so I was working like all day, and I was trying to work like at night to try to pack all these books. There were around 500 books that I ended up shipping, maybe 400 and some odd books. So it wasn't a lot, but they were like a weird size. So we had to get like almost like pizza boxes to
but you
ship
have
them.
to pack every single
Right.
book
And
and
right. And
every stamp that. Oh, I was gonna say the name.
yeah, stamps.com. That's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah.
every.
We're not sponsored, but we should be sponsored because I spent that time. I spent like $18,000, 18 grand on
No.
the shipping through stamps.com. So, um, but yeah. So one night I remember that I went to like a CVS or whatever, Walgreens, whatever pharmacy, um, and because I went through rolls of tape like it was absurd. I probably went through, I don't know, 20 rolls of those like industrial tapes. And I would have to buy extra tapes all the time. So I would just take not even a walk. I had to like drive in my truck to that CVS, my little truck that I rented, like a U-Haul truck that I rented, just to get some tape. And when I was in line, I saw like Monster energy drinks, and had never ever in my life. I had never
But
like I mean I've drank alcohol, but
was
I've
that the
never.
first time?
Yeah, that was the first time.
And then because remember that you had some monsters when we tried to.
Yeah. But that was after
Okay,
that.
okay, yeah.
So first time, I was like, I'm gonna buy a couple of these, and I bought again, having never drank a Red Bull or like an energy drink. I was like, I'm gonna buy a couple of these because I'm gonna pull like an all nighter, and I'm not that young anymore, and it's gonna be kind of tough to pack all these things like throughout the night. So I drank two of those cans, and I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. I really did. Like it was two separate things happening at the same time. I thought I was gonna die, but I also was the most efficient
Yeah.
human being
I remember that you told
ever.
me like
Oh
I don't know how like my brain was telling my hands to go, but they
yeah,
were super fast and I was like going and going and
it was
yeah.
like an out of body experience, like 100% out of body experience. It was amazing. I mean, honestly, yeah, that stuff can kill you. You can like my body was not used to that stuff, and my body's not a temple. Like, let's establish that super quickly.
Because
Like, I put a lot of shit into my body, so this is not like, oh my god, I'm so healthy, and I suddenly have one of these drinks and I'm dying. No. I'm not super healthy, but let me see if my daughter is no, she's not.
okay,
She's
okay.
close, but she's
Sorry,
not.
I
We
was
always check on my daughter's school bus where it is because we have to like run
like
down
the
to get her.
yeah, and you have like the GPS to
Right.
track it. So okay.
So I again, I'm not super healthy, and it's not like my body was never used to anything like this. Like I said, like like many people I started, or many people here, start drinking alcohol when you were younger. So yeah, I would have guessed my body was like, okay, this is like some weird shit, but we can deal with it. No, I couldn't deal with it.
But
It
also
was
not two in a row because I think that
right. I
was
had
the problem with you because I remember after that like that passed and then you start buying Monster because you like the taste
well, I thought it
and
was
because
fascinating
yeah
though.
and you because I remember that when we were not living together you went to my house and we wanted to I don't know watch a movie
I
and
would
you
always fall
always
asleep.
yeah
Always.
so you were like I'm gonna go and have a Monster but you always bought two
Yeah.
and you had them like if they were shots.
Right.
because you love the taste, and
Yeah,
that's
it's pretty
what's
good.
super
It's
bad.
so sweet. It's so ridiculously like decadently sweet. God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I almost died, but I had a taste of what it means to be productive. Like industrially productive. And it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. But yeah, so one of the things was like we used to when we were dating, we used to see each other like at night. So I would end up going to Danny's place at night, or we would get
Oh,
there at
and
night
you're
together.
not a night person.
No, no, no. And I would be exhausted because I would have had like a full days of work and like teaching, painting. And I obviously wanted to, see Danny. And we would get to her home and we would start, because we love watching like TV and like series or movies. And we would start watching a movie and I was out. Like,
But I was
15.
never mad
No, no,
about
no.
that.
But 15 minutes into it, I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
And I got like super frustrated. I was like, come on, dude. Like you can't stay awake. It's like, come on. So I remembered my experience as this machine, this robot just making boxes, and my brothers. And I was like, maybe I can get some, I can use Monsters, energy drink regularly so that I can stay awake and I can watch some movies. And I'll tell you this, because I had enough. I had a lot during that spell.
Yeah.
I was having probably one or two a day at night.
Yeah, that's the thing. 2 a day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And aside from the weight gain, the natural weight gain that comes from eating such a sugary drink, um, I was getting weird. It
Yeah.
was like really weird.
On your eyes. I remember that your eyes were like
Oh
because
no, that was the drugs.
n-
I'm kidding. I'm
you don't
kidding.
use
It's a
drugs.
joke.
Yeah,
It's a
bad
joke.
joke. But I
Yeah.
remember that your eyes were like so open. Like it was weird because it didn't seem like you. You were like
And I have big eyes. I have
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
buggy
But
eyes.
it
So
was like
imagine that.
but it was like weirdly big. I mean, and I remember that I told you once that you didn't ¿cómo se dice parpadear?
Blink.
Blink that much.
And
That you were like, "Oh, you're exaggerating," and like it was true. I mean, you blinked like every I
half an
don't know.
hour.
Yeah, it was super weird. Yeah.
So yeah. So again, to take this back, thank you for
Detour.
yeah, the visit down,
Memory lane.
our monster memory lane. Um but I think that if it's, if sleeping is not an issue, if I could like drug myself up with these things again, um I can paint for 2 days straight for sure.
But for
3 days?
But for what? I mean,
Oh
what
no,
would
for
you get?
nothing. It's for stupid, just
Yeah.
to, I don't even like care to prove myself. I'm not trying to prove anything to myself. Like this is not for like a record or like, no, it's nothing. It's just for, I don't know, for me.
Yeah.
Just to explore my limits, I would say. That would be like a good way of saying it.
Yeah.
I think I can do it.
But yeah.
Would
Well,
you
I
guys
guess
would you
you
guys support a 60-hour stream?
mm,
Can we stream for 60? Can you stream for 60 hours? I don't even
I think
know.
you can because there's
Does
a lot
YouTube
of
allow you to do
yeah,
that?
because there's a lot of like that music. Have you seen that? Is it
No.
como se
What? No,
like
no sé, Linda.
Fi?
Lo-fi?
Yeah. That it's like they're always live. I mean, and you enter the page and it's like they've been live for 2 months.
Oh, the girl with the cat and the
Yeah,
computer?
that music. And it's
Okay.
a live stream.
That's always live?
Yeah, well, it's a live stream, but it's like programmed in an OBS
Right,
platform.
right.
But it's live.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just thought it was like a list, like like a playlist, and that's it.
They're saying I would be here for that.
I know that I know that people do stuff for charity like that all the time. Like gamers, usually you'll get like 24 hours or maybe like 48 hours, but it's just a team of people that are doing people will do 4 hours, 5 hours, and then they get, they switch with somebody else that gets there. So
No, but I think you're like because we would have to stream both. So it
Yeah, you
would
would
be
have to be with
60
me.
hours. I think I could do it better, maybe
I
because
think you're a little bit better than me in
yeah.
terms of staying awake.
Yeah, but I think it's because when I was a bartender, I
Yeah,
mean,
but you used to get home and sleep for like 12 hours.
but not all the time because
Yeah, well,
no, because when I was in
well,
finals at the university, I
uh,
couldn't. I mean,
yeah, but
I
yeah,
I couldn't.
but you
Um
love to sleep. Like that's the
oh,
thing.
I
I
love to sleep.
I
I
don't
could do
like
a
to.
60-hour marathon of sleeping.
I don't like to
100%.
sleep. I don't. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I think that my not my issue, but my thing is I don't like to sleep. Like I can't stay in bed. I like if I'm in bed in the morning and if the sun is out, like if the sun is out at 5:45, I'm like, okay, it's time to get up. Like that's just how I am. So
So they're saying do a marathon 24 hours straight.
I could do it.
Um
That's cake. That's super easy.
and they're saying we should plan a quote sleepover party.
There we
We
go.
paint for a day. Yeah, and they're saying I've done all nighters before, but
Yeah.
that's under great distress because of deadlines.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This would just be fun, honestly.
They're saying paint the same subject in different takes for 60 hours.
Ooh, but ooh. I
Or
would have to find a way to make that super interesting. I mean, it's a good challenge. It's
and
a
if
really
it's
cool
like
challenge.
a live painting session, poor model. I mean,
No, 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 no. I think they're referring to like, if I'm painting a plastic bag, we can
okay,
just paint it in as many different ways as you can. Like
okay.
think of like the many different ways in which you can solve it. That's how I understood it. So correct me if I'm wrong, please.
Uh,
But it would be interesting to see because in that Guinness record, they were also saying like, oh, and this dude made, I don't know,
like
it's
flowers.
48 paintings,
No,
and
but
I'm like,
also it
what does
was
that
like
mean,
I'm going to try to look for the paintings.
right?
So,
Now they're amazing. Watch how they're like incredible now.
uh, so I think it's this one. Mm, yeah, 60 hours. But I can see the paintings.
You can't?
No. He created 60 paintings.
Yeah, but what does that mean? You could
So
paint
a
like
painting an hour.
but
It
yeah, but what does that mean? Like you could paint like a yellow square
Yeah.
and you're done, and it takes 5 minutes.
Um but I'm trying to look because I remember that we saw like a longer time. Do you remember?
I think it was 72, and that's when I got discouraged. That was when I was like, okay, I think 3 days is my limit. Like, I don't really even know how people would stay awake for 3 days without any drugs or any like. Which I'm guessing, this dude maybe had some help. I'm guessing.
Um so uh they're saying my old high school art and design had a drawathon
Yeah, yeah, I've
from
done those.
10 a.m. till 10 p.m. annually till the pandemic. A paint along on your channel would be fun. Oh yeah, I went to a drawathon in New York City about 15 years ago. Uh,
We
what?
could do.
What?
I mean, it sounds lame, but it could be cool. It sounds like super. Maybe it's too lame, but because we're ending, Danny. I mean, we did start
We're
January
ending when?
1st. Well,
Oh,
our
yeah.
2 years,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
and we've always said that we finish on we're gonna finish on December 31st.
Yep.
Uh, we could stream from like 12 midnight on the 30th till New Year's on the 1st of January. Again, could
But
be kind of lame. A lot of people are with family or,
yeah, and we would be missing
We would be
like
missing, yeah.
family celebration. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But
I don't know.
but
No, I don't know. Maybe
but
like January 1st because everyone's at home,
yeah, and nobody's up.
but they can be watching the
Yeah,
stream.
nobody's up.
And what
Everyone's
would you be painting?
What would I be painting?
No, would you be painting or just like hanging?
Well, both. We could do
Okay.
both.
Okay. But yeah, don't compromise to things
Don't
that you
commit.
still yeah.
No.
Oh, can't you say compromise?
Well, compromise is when you reach like a compromise. Like I didn't want to do something, and we kind of get together and find like middle ground
Okay.
to do something. That's like a compromise.
Mm,
What Danny's saying is that in Spanish you could use like that word too.
yeah, it's comprometerse.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's commit.
Um, they're saying I think it would be cool to use these streams to build up endurance for the super long stream.
Oh, I have endurance. I'm again.
Yeah,
It's in me. It's totally in me.
but also the thing is that because of the times of, for example, Samu and Fer,
Right,
like
right.
we could not be here for 24 hours
Yeah, but
because
they're
they
going to
wouldn't
be
have lunch,
yeah,
breakfast, anything. I
right,
mean,
right. But that's why I was thinking like New Year's because they're not going to be here.
yeah, I know, but
So this is getting
we could
closer.
think
This is
about
sounding better and better.
for you. we
I'm
could
already
think about
committing
it.
Danny.
No,
Danny's
we
like,
could think about it. So,
yeah.
so they
Are you guys
were
up for it? I think Danny needs a little convincing, little bit, and then she's 100%. And we can finish off with Danny singing something.
no, that would never happen.
Like at New Year's, you just kind of.
No. So they're saying it could be nice to do something that we can be a part of, like painting a series and people continue it.
Cool.
Mm. They're saying yes, do it. Yeah, I'm up for it for sure. So yeah, we have to see Nicolas.
Oh, Danny's so into this
No,
now.
but that's also because I want to spend the
100%.
time
No,
with my
no,
family
I know.
because you
I
know
know.
that
I'm kidding.
Christmas we go to your family. So
I know. I'm
New
kidding.
Year's would be my family. So
I
we
know,
have to
I'm
see. We
kidding.
have to see, but
We could.
maybe or maybe not. But yeah. No,
We
they're
could
saying
totally
yes.
Skype. We could Skype with them like super easily.
With who? So they're saying there used to be art Olympics competitions. Not sure how it worked. Maybe it was like how much stone could a sculptor carve. I guess you'd win the painting matches.
I know, maybe not. Maybe there's I'm sure there's a lot of people that have there's a ton of people that work a ton like they can work I know a ton of painters that love to work nights when they're painting and they probably have that, kind of built just
Endurance.
natural that they can resist sleep. Again, for me, that would be the tough one. That would be the tough part.
Yeah, because I think that you're saying like, oh, I can do it, and maybe we're streaming and we both fall asleep.
There's been a bunch of streamers that fall asleep while streaming, so
Yeah,
that wouldn't be
but that wouldn't
super
be a
weird.
record of nothing. I mean, your head on the painting sleeping.
It would be a record of us sleeping,
Yeah.
but it could be nice.
Oh, so they're saying, am I the only one having a hard time to see your videos on my YouTube feed? Even if I subscribed to your channel and also clicked in the bell, YouTube never showed me your videos. And
Those
someone else
bastards.
said, hi, Danny and Nick, I just came. How long did the stream start? YouTube didn't send me notifications.
Those bastards. Have you guys? Do you have the bell? I know that sounds super corny
Ring
to
the
say.
bell,
Ring that bell.
subscribe,
Yeah,
like,
smash that
share.
like button. Whatever.
Why are we doing that accent though?
I don't. Well, you're doing. You're doing it. I was just talking like a regular human being. Yeah, I don't know. If you'll only get that notification if you have notifications turned on for YouTube. I know that this sounds like super basic, but maybe in your phone you have, you get annoyed by notifications and you have turned them off for YouTube or you didn't allow them initially. or maybe you didn't realize it, but you are not. You're subscribed, but you haven't pressed that little bell. So
Ring the bell.
yeah, so maybe that's that's what's
Yeah, but I think we can do what we talked about before, like trying to make everything easier for you guys by doing the countdown.
yeah, the little
And
premiere
also,
thing.
like, we can do it here and we like on YouTube and on your Instagram. So
Right,
you
right.
can, because remember that the countdown in Instagram, you can like set an alarm with that. So maybe that could help.
Yeah. Instagram, by the way, we were talking with Danny. It's so fucking ungrateful. It's so like there's no other way of saying it. It's so fucking ungrateful. Like for example, with us, I had to travel to do a workshop, which is totally, that's our lifestyle, and I love doing videos, but sometimes part of our income is also, we also rely on workshops, physical workshops that we do, and we get invited and we travel. And what that means is that we either have to produce videos in advance for a week, which we've done, which is like absurdly stressful, and it's a ton of work. Like I can't express how much work that has been the times that we've done it. Hopefully you guys will trust us when we say that that is just an absurd amount of work. um and other times we're like, okay, this is, I mean, it's going to be super hard work to just go and do the workshop. Danny's exhausted. Danny deserves the rest too. Many times it's not even rest. Like she has to like stay and edit the videos for when we get back.
Yeah.
And so it's not real rest whatsoever. But if I, for example, during that week, I started posting the stuff and on different times. So I started posting some of the paintings that I was doing for the workshop, but it was, it was super relaxed. It was just like, hey, this is what I've been doing, and I'm always like super grateful to the people that organized the workshop, and I always want to say how cool the group is, and this group in Liverpool was no different than many of the groups that I've been lucky enough to have, which are like super talented, super hardworking painters. And I always, think that it's nice to acknowledge those things. And so I always try to post something like that when I'm doing a workshop, which is kind of cool. But I didn't post for a long time, for maybe 10 days, maybe, something like that.
Yeah.
And this is like, who cares? Like if you're honestly thinking about it, you're like, who the fuck cares? Like it's it's 10 days. When has 10 days become like a long time? That sounds ridiculous. But in Instagram time, that's like years.
Yeah.
If you don't post during those, that space of time, it you might as well die. And they're so fucking ungrateful because like I usually post fucking like almost every day. I've been posting for the last like 3 years. And the moment you say, oh, I'm either tired or I don't want to post or I'm just gonna take some time off, and then you try to go back to posting, it's like, yeah, you don't it's like you're not visible anymore. You don't, you're dead to us. And so I've made it a point in my life to not be beholden to anything, because I hate when something has power over me. and and not power that I don't grant. Like for example, Danny has, I always care about what she what she feels and what she says. My kids, I'm always like thinking about them with every decision that I make. But aside from like human beings that mean something to me, I don't I don't let anyone decide anything for me in my life, or I don't like to let anyone be responsible for me feeling good or bad. Like fuck that. That's my life. I'm not going to, grant that ability to anyone. So I'm so mad, but I'm not going to change anything, but I'm so mad that this fucking thing is like, yeah, we decided that because you've been posting for years now every day consistently, that was cool, but now you missed like, a week, and now you have to work like super hard to get to where you were. It's like, fuck you. I'm not going to work hard to get to where I was. Like, if you're telling me that now you're not going to show my post to many people, that's fine. I'm totally fine with that. I'll be fine. So, yeah, but so in many ways, love Instagram because we're able to connect with a ton of people, like-minded people or different people, but people that we can have cool conversations about art and life. That's amazing. Connections are the best part of social media. But the other side of social media, oh fuck it. I hate it. I absolutely hate that side. So I'll take the good and I'll stay because of the good, but I will denounce the bad and their algorithm or whatever they do to choose, how they understand, your value. Oh fuck them. Honestly, fuck them. I know. Danny's telling me that I'm cursing a lot, but I don't know. It's just that it's stupid.
But
It's
but
stupid.
remember that I was reading that Vincent and Maisha are here, so
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, earmuffs. Maisha, earmuffs. If I'm speaking about social media, earmuffs.
um so they were saying during those weeks you could do 3 videos per week. That way you don't have to work so hard.
Yeah,
But
it's
we
still.
couldn't because when you're traveling we cannot
Yeah, we
because
can't.
we had to pre-record, and also 3 videos means 6 days of work for you because it's video and voiceover, video voiceover,
Right.
and that would mean like maybe 8 days of editing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a little bit hard, but yeah. Um. Uh. So when you were talking about the painting marathon,
Yeah. Yeah.
Regita says, I love how Danny is the voice of reason between you two and you're the wild one. And
Hmm.
then someone said, that's why males die earlier.
Wait,
am I
yeah.
am I the voice of reason? Do you
Oh
think so?
god.
No, I'm asking you, not everyone. Like,
Um um I yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
okay, that's cool.
Probably. I'm more prone to making a decision and then thinking about it, like thinking of what I put myself into. Um and but also because you
But I don't
you
think that you're wild. I
no,
mean,
no, 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 no.
because
I'm
sometimes
super.
you're like, I'm not doing this, and like conversation over. Like, you're not like, oh, just try it. Like, we could try it. No, I think you like when you don't want to do something, you just don't,
Yeah.
and no one could change that. So
Yeah, I'm super, like, I know myself way too well. And yeah, but you are certainly far more grounded than I am, I feel. Uh, and and sometimes I have like dumb ideas and you ground them for me. And but other times because you're always kind of thinking about it, you also tend to freeze and it's difficult for you to make decisions. So, I'm always like, let's make my stupid decision. I'm willing to I'm willing to make my stupid decision. So yeah, I think we know each other well and we can reach like a really nice balance. We both have our pros and cons to the way we view things or we
or
go
we take
about.
decisions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, they were also saying totally up for it. Paint alongs, sharing viewer images and critiques. I is this fair?
Um let me see, let me
Um,
see.
sorry, just give us a second.
Nope.
Okay. So yeah, they said
No, she's pretty far away
totally
still.
up for it. And paint alongs, sharing viewer images and critiques. Danny singing,
Yeah.
auction
You
of
don't know what you're getting into.
auction of some of your work, a balloon drop. You know, something easy and relaxing.
There we go.
Oh, and because you said that December will be the end,
Yeah.
they're asking, so does the channel end on the new year, or are you
No, no, no.
taking it in another direction?
Slightly. We've talked about this before, but slightly different direction. We do, we would be It would be very unfair to us, to the hard work we've put into it, into all of this, and to also to you guys that have been
Yeah.
super, super supportive. If we just kind of said, yeah, it's over, it's done, goodbye, that would never make sense. We've often spoken about this, but one of the nicest things that we've encountered is how people, you know, get um, they have made a really kind of strong connection
Yeah.
with just these little efforts that we put out, and it's amazing. It's really, really amazing
Yeah.
because at the beginning we just thought, yeah, this is our project and this is something that we want to do. It was like a, I'm not going to, I don't want to put it as a me thing, but it was certainly something that we both had to be prepared to do.
Yeah.
But then slowly but surely, and the thing is, you can't anticipate that you can't go before a project and say, oh, we're gonna touch so many lives. Now, like, that's grandiose thinking. That's like, you're a bigger idiot if you think that your work just is gonna have that sort of impact without any way of measuring if it really does. So yeah, so we were concentrating initially on us being okay and being comfortable with what we were about to do, like with this path that we were about to embark on. And eventually we realized, wow, this is beginning to have a life of its own, which is really, really cool. And we started, reading people's comments, and people were super, super nice with sending us comments. And it just became something entirely different, something that we didn't really foresee, because initially we just thought, let's try not to embarrass ourselves. Like, let's
Yeah.
not try to fail miserably at doing this.
Because I think that we thought that we were just going to give something, like just put the videos out, but we didn't thought that we were going to receive like
Yeah, yeah, that's a
something back. So
right. You're exactly right. That's a cool way of putting it. And yeah, so we were super surprised. And it's really nice because it's not a huge project. It's not like, at its inception, it's not huge. The scope of it is not huge. Like, the impact that we can have is not huge either. This is very small when you think about the art world or the art market,
yeah.
or the way
And also social
information is
media.
shared.
I
Social,
mean,
yeah, exactly. In social media terms, it's like we always think we're doing like super well, and we always get like comments of people saying, why is your channel so small?
yeah.
Like, why is
What are
it,
you doing wrong?
yeah, like, what's going on? Like, you
Yeah.
haven't gotten discovered, or you haven't gone viral. And we're always like, we
We
don't
don't
know,
know.
we're
Yeah.
fine. Like, we're totally proud of
But at
of
the
the
same
people.
time, like when I look the numbers here in YouTube,
Yeah.
like I'm surprised, and it's like super heartwarming to see that we have 20 25,000 people, is it? 25
um
mil, ¿cómo se dice?
yeah, 25. I'm not sure how many people are right now,
Yeah,
but
I think so. So, well, that at least I know it's not big for like YouTube, but for me that's like so big. I mean, having 25,000 people, 26,000 people interested in like listening to you and uh, looking what you're painting and being here with us in the streams, I think it's super cool. I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely been really cool. And we knew that we couldn't like throw all of that hard work and all of, the sort of response that we were getting. We couldn't just throw that away. It just doesn't make sense. So
We
we
wouldn't be happy with it.
No,
I
no,
mean,
no. So
because it sounds a little bit cheesy, but we would of course miss
yeah,
this,
yeah.
like this interaction and this connection. So,
So the thing is, and this is what, I'm sure that people say, well, you guys sell paintings and you're doing well, and it's just, you're creating content, so just create content and kind of like shut up. You're doing well and just keep doing content. And I totally get that. Like, honestly, I totally get that. But the thing is, it's so much work. Like, sometimes
yeah.
I think we've both been like, both Danny and I have been conscious of sometimes that it's been like an unhealthy amount of hard work.
Yeah.
So we started, we hoped that this would have been like a 5 days a week thing.
Oh, and you thought, because you've talked about this before, but at the beginning you said that you wanted it to be like an hour long video every day,
Right.
because we didn't realize the amount of work that doing the daily videos would be. So,
Yeah, we had never really done that part before. So we were just speculating a lot, a
yeah.
lot. But what ended up happening, and again, we're not exaggerating. We don't need pity. Like, if anything, we're super grateful, and we're doing better than anything that we would have ever imagined. So this is not like a plea for pity, or we're not. No, no, no. Like, trust me, we've both worked super, super hard. I think both Danny and myself have worked super hard in our lives. That this is, if anything, we're just grateful to have like a job and to have a community like behind us. So that's amazing. But we never thought it was going to be like 7 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
7
7 hours a day.
hours.
Great. Yeah,
Do
awesome.
you work that?
Yeah,
Because
yeah. What
I
are you
feel
doing?
like,
Just slacking off.
yeah,
No, it was going to be 7 days a week, like literally. Like we worked for the better part of those. What week are we in? Would we
oof.
be in like 84,
Let me see.
Danny? 84, 83?
Just give me a sec, because I think I lost the count. So, uh, uh, um, so the pencil drawing week, remember?
Yeah.
The one of Kim Jong-gi
Yeah.
was week 82, and I think we've been 2 weeks after that, so maybe 84,
Right.
83, 84.
So this would be, essentially week 84. Doesn't mean that we've been doing we're 400, no, 80 times 5, 450 videos. No, because we haven't done 5 videos a week for quite some weeks now, but it's well over 410, 415 videos in 2 years. That's crazy. That is crazy. And it's just the both of us. We don't have a team of editors or
Yeah.
people. Like, when you look at other YouTube channels, I don't care what content they're producing, just making over 400 videos in 2 years, it's crazy. So I think we were like conscious that we were up for it, but we didn't realize that what being up for it meant.
Yeah.
So we just, there was a moment that we kind of hit a wall,
Yeah.
and not a wall in terms of like we're tired, but just like saying, "Oh my God, this is too much. Like, this is, we can't keep this
Yeah,
up."
and we were also like, for example, I had the videos like just in time for the upload.
Right.
So it was like a marathon of working and working and
Right, and
working.
it's so weird because there'd be times that we were able to get ahead of everything, and then there'd be other times that we were like, "Okay, I'm
Yeah.
exhausted.
Yeah.
Like, this is, I can't have that video ready for
Yeah.
a week in advance." And I don't know, I think we just got super conscious of what it meant to work that much. And when looking to the future, we were like, okay, if we keep doing this, we have to find a way to make it work for us,
Yeah.
because it's not like, I mean, it's just not feasible.
Yeah.
It's just, again, you have your family, Danny, that you visit too, also, because we don't want to make this like, oh yeah, this is the only thing we do in our lives. And my kids are my responsibility too.
But the
So
thing is that at some point it was. And
right,
that's
right,
why we
right.
said like, okay, we need to do something, and that's why we started doing Monday to Thursday
Mm-hmm.
videos, and not Monday to Friday, because we didn't have time to, for example, you to be, or we four to be with Samu, Fer, you and I.
Yeah, and I
Like,
never
we did-
liked, for example, when if they were here, we would be painting, like video editing or audio editing in the morning, painting like after lunch.
Yeah, and I
Then
was editing,
someone Fed would get here,
Yeah.
and then I would have to record audio like at night.
Yeah.
And when I was recording, I would be like, okay, everyone shut up because I need to, record audio. It was just so
Yeah.
much. Like
And
it,
also they were like, "Oh, can we watch a movie?" And it would be like a big struggle for us to like find the time that
right?
we could have like 2 hours to watch a movie. So that's why we started doing Monday through Thursday. And that's why also, and I'm sorry if I'm anticipating to what you were going to say, but that's why we decided to have
A
live
New Year
videos.
painting marathon.
live,
Woo!
live
Hell
videos.
yeah, Danny's in.
No, I'm not.
100% in. I knew it.
No,
I knew she was gonna come around.
live
Woo!
videos for the next year. Like that's because the question at the beginning was what's going to be the next thing for us. So it's gonna be live videos. Short answer, live videos.
New Year,
No.
New Year paint,
Mm,
New
mm,
Year
mm.
Guinness painting
No.
record.
No, and 60 hours? You're crazy. No.
Yeah, sponsored by Guinness Beer.
No. No, beer.
No, that'll
You
put
think
me.
you could
Yeah,
drink and paint and be
that'll
60 hours
that'll
up?
put me to sleep
No.
in
Yeah,
like,
in 2 hours.
yeah.
um so they were saying
Samu, could you tell Samu
yeah, okay.
to see if in like a minute he can go downstairs
Yeah.
and
So I'm gonna read the question and
okay,
I'll go
thank you.
tell him. They say, do you think you'll do another series of painting based on movie scenes or a live stream
Oh,
of
you know, I
but let
wanted.
me finish.
What's that?
No, but that I'm gonna finish. It says or a live stream of the paintings and talking about the choice of scene or film. So go ahead.
Yeah, you know that for this week I thought about doing another one of those because
That was
again,
super cool.
yeah, and because of I'm guessing Dune is to blame for all of this, but the cinematography in it is so like freaking powerful that I was like, I could do like a study of composition, tone. For example, I was with almost every shot I was telling Danny, can you tell like this is atmospheric perspective? It's everywhere in Dune, absolutely everywhere. So it would be such a cool movie to just explore in terms of just pushing things back and just really painting heavy atmosphere. That I was like super psyched to do a week like that. So yeah, we should definitely before we finish, we should totally do one of those weeks because they're super cool. They're super. I love to do those, and I love to try and understand. Like usually, great filmmakers or great directors of photography, they have such a gorgeous sense of design perspectives that it's just a blast to try and dissect some of the compositions. They're wonderful. Some of those sequences, some of those stills are just incredible. So yeah, definitely.
So someone was asking what's your Instagram, and it's on screen if you want to go check it out. I have a little like graphic. Oh,
Hmm.
so my mic is off.
Your mic is off.
Sí, yeah. Diles porque se me desconectó.
Oh, Danny's mic. Danny's saying that her mic is off for
Can you
some
hear me
reason.
now? Yeah, because it appeared like a notification that it was off, but now it's
What?
on again. Yeah, I don't know. I was saying that someone asked about your Instagram,
Yep.
and on screen I have a little graphic with Nicolas's Instagram handle and my Instagram handle also. If you maybe want to go check it out.
Oh, be sure to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Um. So
We're slowly getting to the character maybe of plastic. I could never like tell you how to paint plastic. I know, for example, people that do a lot of work for like pre-production work for video games and for animations. Like those people are amazing. They're absolutely incredible artists in the sense that they have to study why things look the same way. For example, programmers, they have to understand how light behaves when it hits a certain material, a certain object. certain surfaces. That stuff is mind blowing to me. Um, I am not that intelligent. I'm not that good at those things. But what I lack in knowledge, I think I can make up in observation. So whenever I'm trying to understand how to sort of distill the essence of a material or a particular like subject matter, it's it's super cool because you kind of ask those same questions. I mean, you go about it a little bit differently, but you're asking yourself what makes plastic feel like plastic. Like where does this essence lie in? And painting suddenly becomes this kind of puzzle where you're trying to figure out how your decisions are affecting the way you read something, and it's super super cool. It's super interesting. So I've been slowly but surely kind of creeping towards this understanding of this little wrapped plastic. And there's like tiny little instances where it'll just show like a tiny little not a highlight, but it's like a little accents of light that are so so important. But I have to be very mindful of the space that they're in, the shape of that little bit of light, how it echoes something that is happening in form. So yeah, so it's cool, but it's not super. It's not super easy. You still have to make a ton of decisions and try and hope that those decisions are getting you closer to hopefully being able to express, plastic in this case.
They were asking some time ago that if you have seen the new GTA definite definite edition definitive edition trailer.
Oh, for the remasters that they're doing? No, I don't think I have.
Also, some time ago they were asking if we had any pets.
Oh, we
No,
don't.
we don't.
Danny, I've had dogs around me my whole life, but
I haven't had a dog.
yeah, Danny hasn't. She wants to. I think that's going to be a very cool, very big,
Thing for us.
important step for us when
Yeah,
when we decide
but
to that
but
we
I
can
think it's
finally have
not
a
the
dog.
time.
No, right now probably not because of the our apartment and just the way the time that we
Like
that
our
we have.
schedules, yeah.
Right, because a dog is like any other being that you suddenly are responsible for. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they're kids. I know that a lot of people that's like debatable, and a lot of people feel like super strongly. And again, I've loved every single dog that I've ever had the the blessing to be part of their lives. I've adored the dogs that have been part of my family. Yeah, but it's very different when you have a kid. When and but still I'll say that a dog, you are responsible for a dog.
Yeah, of
And it's a
course you are.
life. It's a life, and it's a loving, you know, being that deserves to be treated with respect and with love. And in that sense, I would say that it's as demanding as of you as a human being. So um, yeah, but Danny wants. What's the brand that you? I
So
can tell people. So
yeah, no. At first, I wanted like a tiny because I love super tiny dogs or like humongous dogs.
yeah, we're
So
not doing humongous
yeah, so I loved the Pomeranians.
Pomeranians,
Yeah, they were
like
so
miniature
cute.
Pomeranians,
Yeah,
because Danny's like petite, so she loves
but that would be
anything.
super cool. Like I'm super petite and having like a Newfoundland. I think it's
Yeah,
called.
no, that's not happening.
Oh, that would be so cool.
No, no. Any
I mean,
dog
I would
that can
have to
crap
ride the dog.
more than a human being is tough. That would be a tough sell for me. So, yeah, so we're thinking about it. It's going to be a big step maybe when my kids are older. Um my kids do have a dog. They have like a dog they adopted. It's very cute. It's like we call them criollos, like a native, dog from the street. So it's just a mutt. It's so many dogs mixed into each other. It almost looks like the dog was a Photoshop reject. It has like the body of like a dachshund. So it's like a little hot dog, and it has the head. The head seems like four times the size it should be. It's impossible to believe that dog is capable of supporting that head. But my son and daughter, they love their dog, and that's awesome. That's great for them. But yeah, we don't. You know, if I am gonna do a dog, we've had, so my history has been, I've had a dachshund, uh, um, not a wired hair dachshund, just like regular hair. Her name was Hortensia when I was younger. Then after Hortensia, we had a Basset Hound, and that dog was amazing, but he was an idiot. One of the dumbest dogs I've ever seen in my life. Dumb in the sense that super hard to house train. Like, I've house trained a bunch of dogs. This was probably like the hardest. Um, no, not the hardest. It was impossible. It was literally impossible. Then after, and his name was Trapos, like rags. Yeah,
The best name.
yeah. And after that, we had.
But trapos, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
because you have to explain. Trapos smelled.
Oh yeah.
So
If you
his
guys
name
have
was
if you guys have had experiences with Basset Hounds, they stink. They stink like wet dog every single day, all the
but the
time.
name was perfect because he
Yeah,
was
but
Rax and
yeah, but
he
no, it was too much. Like, I don't like a house where you just go in and you immediately go like, "Oh my god, this is a house that has a dog," because it just stinks of dog.
I would love a perro salchicha.
Yeah, dachshund,
Yeah, I would love that
little
too.
wiener dog.
Yeah, they're so cute.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but um after Trapos, we had a golden retriever. Amazing, incredible dog. Like, honestly, absolutely amazing. I had to kick because in the backyard in my mother's house, there was a family that one day let loose ¿cómo se llaman? A pit bull,
Yep.
and the pit bull had gone over the fence. This is like a very small fence, like in the backyard, because it's like a condo maybe. Um, and the pit bull, all we heard was just dogs like barking, growling, and our dog just kind of like screeching. So I ran out. I ran out without even thinking, and I see this pit bull in our back, kind of like little yard, and then I saw my dog, like our dog, just bleeding from the head,
No.
and it was a big pit bull, but my initial reaction was just like, kick the dog. You have to kick the dog because it's gonna kill the dog or it's gonna be pissed off at me. And I just started screaming like an animal, and I kicked the dog. I kicked it really, really hard, but nothing happened. Like, they could
No,
take.
you didn't hurt the
No,
dog.
well, I'm sure I heard it enough so that he just ran away, but he was able to like jump the fence again and then just gingerly go back to the house. But yeah, but so Simon had we had to like take him
Simon.
to the vet. Yeah, because the saliva in the bite gave him like a huge infection in his
Oh,
head.
poor.
So they had to shave his head and pump him with like antibiotics. But I remember that day, like afterwards, I was like, oh my God, what did I do? Like, if I had missed the kick, or if I had, not kicked him hard enough, that dog would have killed me. That dog would have like completely disfigured me. And but I don't know, it was super instinctual. Like, once you hear your dog is like in actual like pain, and it's like his life is threatened, you don't even think about it. You just really, really don't think about it. And but yeah, so we love that dog. And after Simon, it's my sister's dog, which actually became my mother's dog, which is like everyone's dog. And it's a dog that I was at my mother's house at that moment, and I was able to receive that
Oh, he
dog
was
when
so
it
cute,
was a
remember?
puppy. Yeah. and
Like a disaster, but he was so cute.
yeah, he's an Australian Shepherd, like an Aussie Shepherd dog. My God, I have never seen a
So much
dog with
energy.
that much energy.
Yeah.
Like I had seen tons of puppies in my life, and I'm usually super good at house training puppies. Like I have the patience to do it, and I'll just I'll sleep with them on the floor, and I'll if they've drank water, I'll wait for however long it takes, and I'll just take them to the like newspaper or backyard or wherever you want them to pee on. And I honestly, I do have the patience because I do, like dogs. But this dog is unmanageable. I mean, this is the sort of dog that they'll tell you, oh, he's got to run like 50 miles every day. And you're like, I'm not going to run 50 miles every day. Like, that's insane. But once you meet the dog, you realize, oh my God, yeah, these dogs do need to run, 60 kilometers every single day just to get slightly tired. It's amazing. It's an incredible dog. We love that dog. But yeah, it's tough. It's a tough dog. And we did have another dog, Luisa's dog.
Pluto.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Pluto.
well, she has
Yeah, but
that
that's
dog.
her dog. Yeah,
Yeah.
she loves her dog. But that was in my mother's house too, and that's also criollo. That's like
Adopted.
yeah, he was also
He
adopted,
was
and he's
from
also like
the
a
street.
street dog, like a
Yeah.
mutt, bunch of races, bunch of breeds. I'm sorry,
Breeds. Yeah.
yeah, raza. We say
In
raza de perro
Spanish,
in
it's
Spanish,
raza.
so I
Yeah,
didn't
but
want
in
to offend
English, it's
anyone.
breed. It's
Um,
breed.
so he's a bunch of breeds, kind of mixed into one. So
Um.
that's my experience with
And what dog would you want? I
if
mean, it's not like I'm trying to
if
to
I had to have.
yeah.
I
If
think
we could have a dog.
I remember Hortensia, the wiener dog, was amazing. She was incredible. One of the
Yeah.
best dogs ever. I tell this story, but that dog, my father used to drive this really like car we had in our family for the longest time was Renault 4. It's like a super tiny little car, and it's not as if it was a loud car or anything like that, but that dog could hear my dad coming about 5 minutes before he got to our house. I know this sounds ridiculous, but we don't really understand this how a dog smells or how much a dog can hear. That's like beyond our rational comprehension. But I could tell you, this is not like a joke. She would get super excited. She would go to the door and start barking, and she knew, and it got to the point where we knew that our dad was coming, from work, um, because she was there at the door. But it's not as if he just entered like the neighborhood or something, and you could kind of hear the car in the background. No, nothing like this. Like there was, it was literally like 5 minutes before something, before he was getting home, she knew. It's amazing. To me, that's like, oh my God, like animals are just fantastic beings. They're incredible. So, and this is not, again, I'm not exaggerating. Like you could talk to my mother or my sisters. This is my brother, that my brother loved that dog, and we could tell you this, like, and I'm sure like people have stories like this about their dogs too. They're amazing. They're incredible beings. So yeah, so I wouldn't mind having a wiener dog, a
But
dachshund.
have you seen the long-haired wieners? I
Yeah,
love them.
the
Can you
wired
can you
hair.
see them?
Yeah.
No, this one.
Oh,
Because
that's too cute. But that's
yeah,
a
that's
puppy.
I
There's
know
not.
that's
They're
so
always
cute.
cute. Like there's no ugly
No,
puppies.
but you can see it
Yeah, some maybe, but
like adults, and they're still super cute.
yeah, they don't grow that much. So
Yeah, they're so cute. Um, so
they're super fast though.
yeah.
Like
Oh, and there's a lot of that breed that are super energetic.
yeah, we would have to get into shape.
Yeah,
That's another
we would
thing.
have to get ourselves into
Yeah,
shape
yeah. That's what I
with
mean.
them. Yeah.
Like,
Um. So they're saying Benjamin has two Great Danes.
oh
Well,
yeah,
he has one still, and they're saying a Newfie, a Newfoundland, would probably get very hot in your climate. No, but
You'd be surprised.
yeah, but the thing is that we were talking about hot days being super hot here, but they're like kind of weird because Bogota is always cold.
Yeah, we are
So,
literally right next to the Andean mountains.
yeah,
Like if we look east from our apartment, you can see the whole mountain like chain. It's actually really beautiful for people that
that
have
never
never
been
kind of
here.
experienced that.
Yeah,
To they go like, "Oh my god, you can see the mountain like."
yeah.
And it's not just like, "Oh, this is like a mountain range." No, this is like the Andean mountains like right across going right across Bogota. So,
And it's super like I wouldn't say that Bogota is a hot city, like a hot climate city. No.
oh no,
It's
there
super
are days
cold.
that it is very cold.
Yeah. I think they would be an
Pretty
Inufi
happy.
here would be super happy. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there are gonna be hot days, but I'm sure it's this type of weather that they could sleep at night and they'd probably love it.
Yeah. I
Like
was
outside at night, they'd probably love it.
I was trying to look for the altitude of Bogota in feet for you to have an idea of how high it is. It's 8,675 feet. So it's super, super high. So, yeah, we always have wind and cold. Uh, they're saying it's a shame you don't care for cats. Shame.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what it is. They don't care for me either. So this is not like a one-way thing. They can sense it. They know they've met their match. Or
Reggie.
maybe you
Oh,
guys think they care. Cats don't care about anything. It's like serve me. That's all they say.
Reggie, so my mic is off again. What's going on? Can you hear me now? Yeah.
Maybe the cable is
Yeah. No, I don't know.
bugging out.
No, but this one is the cable for my headphones.
Yeah,
So
but you know how the computers sometimes won't really kind of read the
yeah. No, but
yeah.
I'm good again. But the thing that pops and says that what's the input that you put?
Right.
It
Yeah,
just
that's kind of
appeared.
weird.
Yeah. But
Or it's just Windows. I always think that's like a Windows problem.
um, so Rajita says Goldens are the best. I have
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, yeah. Golden
Um,
retrievers are amazing.
and they're asking Bogota is up the top and Cali is down the mountain, right?
Yeah, Cali's at a valley.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's called El Valle del Cauca.
Yeah. And Cali is hot for you to know.
Yeah. Not super. I mean, there's other areas, there's other places in Colombia that are super hot, particularly well, not all the ones that are in the coast. I mean,
No.
there's places that are kind of nearby.
Oh, but there are places that are not near the ocean and they're super hot.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, that's what
Onda?
right, exactly. That's what I was saying. Like they're near Bogota, like quote unquote
Yeah.
near. Like you don't have to travel. Usually to get to the coast from here, if you're driving like straight, it'll take anywhere from 10 hours, maybe like 9 to 10 hours, maybe.
But to Cali, you're saying, or
Right, right, right. No, no, no. 10 no.
para,
11
para
horas,
Onda?
10, no a Santa Marta, por ejemplo.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, but to the coast, like to the
To the
Caribbean
sea.
coast.
Yeah.
Right, to our Atlantic coast. And we do have Pacific coast also for a small-ish country. A lot of people think
That Colombia is super
like
small. Yeah.
like countries in Latin America are small, and that's because that's the map that they usually sell to people. That the northern hemisphere is always like enormous. You guys should go to a website that's like real maps. I think it or the real size of maps.
Let
I
me
forget
see.
what it's called. It is amazing, and you can actually compare the size of certain countries, like the actual size of certain countries.
So
No, just look for it as a website.
the true size
True
of.
size of.
Yeah.
There we go. That is an amazing website.
So let's see. True size of Colombia.
For example, when I was in Liverpool, I was saying, your island, like the whole island, UK plus Ireland, it can fit Yeah, I think UK plus Ireland plus Scotland, it can fit. It can all fit in Colombia. Like it's a snug fit, but it can just easily fit in Colombia. People don't realize that. People think that northern hemisphere countries are enormous,
Yeah.
but they have no idea how countries compare to the rest of the world because that the map that we usually see centers it always has like a focal point in the US and in Europe, and that's about it. That's like the map is meant to be understood as that, solely that. So if you guys want to like contextualize how, for example, enormous Brazil is, and
Yeah.
I know that it's like Canada, it doesn't have a lot of habitable place because there's an enormous percentage of Brazil that is just the Amazon rainforest. But if you guys want to, if you guys can't like if you don't know how big Brazil is, like take a look at that or
Yeah.
Argentina. Argentina's enormous,
Yeah, but I
enormous.
haven't seen that page, and it's super interesting because you can drag the size of the.
Exactly. You can
Yeah.
literally compare whatever country you want to whatever other country. And you'll realize, and I know this is kind of, woke ish or this is kind of annoying, but it's true. I mean, maps were done by the colonizing countries.
Yeah.
So the idea of map that we understand to be true and that has shaped, our perception of our planet, it is very distorted. It
Yeah.
is tremendously distorted. So, as an exercise, I'm not saying that everyone should, kind of go there and just rethink their place, like in terms of geography and in terms of the space we occupy on this planet. But as a cool exercise, everyone should go in there and take a look at their country or like other countries and see, wow, like this is the actual size of these countries that we sometimes think that are third world countries or that we just imagine them to be so small and insignificant. Oh, they are everything but that. So
Um, they're asking, do you see catfish Colombia? I don't know what that is. Do you know? Maybe?
catfish Colombia,
Yeah.
what is that?
I don't
Google,
know. I'm
give
gonna
it
Google
a
it.
Google and see.
Catfish.
Well, I know what catfish is, but
So it says
the expression is
a TV show from 2014.
no.
A show that meets people who have fallen in love online with a catfish.
Do you know what that
Someone
is, Danny?
pretending, yeah. So it says here, someone
Okay.
pretending to be someone they're not. But yeah,
Okay.
I knew what that was.
Yeah.
But I've never seen that
No, me
before.
neither.
Hmm? No.
No, we've but I'm guessing like without knowing what it is, I think we both know what that
Yeah.
is. It's just honestly probably like Colombian women that,
No, no,
you know,
no. But why women?
mostly it's Colombian mostly it's men that go shopping for, you know, just brides. Like,
Shopping.
well, that's what like bride like mail in brides. That's what they call that sort of. I mean, if you think about it, it's a way of it's a type of like human trafficking in many ways.
Yeah.
It's terrible. And if you think of human trafficking, I know, Danny, that but it's usually men doing, the purchasing and women that are sold. So I I mean that's if you think about it, Danny, like think about Colombians that get married um with foreigners, you almost always like think of women that are marrying like other foreign men. It's almost always. I'm not generalizing. Statistically it has to be the case.
Mm, yeah, but I don't know. I haven't seen the program, I'm seeing that it's like acting. Parece como tu voz estéreo.
Ah, uy, no, terrible.
Was it like a reality? Oh no, maybe it's no, I don't know. O sea, yo veo esto y no sé si es realidad o
No,
actuado.
I think that's real.
Yeah. So I'm curious, where do you see it? Where are you from, and where do you like where do they stream that program?
It's probably in
Um
in those reality TV channels, maybe.
Yeah, but like I didn't know. Like
I didn't know
here
it
in
existed.
Colombia, I don't know the program,
No,
and
no.
they're asking, I guess, out of Colombia. So like they're not in Colombia, the people who are
And
asking. So
it is
it's like
specifically
international.
Colombian people?
Yeah, because it's a program from here, and they
What?
asked because Anania was the one who asked, and she says,
What?
"Do you
No.
see Catfish Colombia?" She said,
No.
"I saw it in Hulu.
Okay.
I'm
We
in
don't get Hulu
California.
here. Yeah, we
I
don't get
didn't
Hulu.
see it. I just saw it and thought of you guys."
That's how Danny and I met.
No.
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
um,
In my profile pic, I had hair. Danny was a
and
little
I was
deceived.
tall.
Little deceived. Danny was 5'10",
Yeah,
and I had a full head of hair. So
yeah.
we were both equally deceived. You know, we were just like, okay, you'll do.
um, yes. Ay, Mario dice, hola Mario.
Mario que se
Mario
conectó
vino
ayer cuando
ayer,
nos
sí, que se
fuimos.
conectó cuando nos despedimos. Dice,
Mario
Boston,
puede saber de ese programa.
no, pero estaba hablando de perros.
Ah,
Dijo Boston Terrier, 100% recomendados, pelo
sí.
corto, bollos pequeños.
No, es que el perro de Mario es divino.
Mario se ha visto Catfish Colombia. ¿Tú crees?
Mario puede haber
Documental.
oído. Mario conoce Mario conoce mundos que uno no conoce.
Mario dice, era de MTV, malísimo.
Así es. Pero era colombiano, Mario, o sea,
Mario y era,
producido en
sí,
Colombia.
y yo quiero saber, era de la vida actuadísimo, dice. O sea, trataban de hacerlo como un reality, pero era actuado.
So Mario, he's a really good friend of ours. He's confirming that it was just really bad acting. Like this was not, this was just a terrible show. So
Que sí, que había versión colombiana.
fatal.
Sí, nunca me lo vi. Ah,
Pero Mario, ¿era colombianos saliendo con colombianas? O sea, era simplemente como unas citas ciegas que uno decía, uy, pero esta no es la foto que yo, como, con la que yo, de la que yo me enamoré. O eran extranjeros como saliendo con colombianes.
espera, porque está respondiendo, pero está respondiendo despacio.
Súper lento.
Entonces, a lo que yo había dicho, dijo exactamente, era un reality falso. Después dijo, había una versión gringa muy famosa y no ha dicho más. Entonces, si responde, te digo. Em, gente que se conocía por internet y no eran lo que pensaban. Sí, lo que decía en la descripción.
Nosotros, sí.
Ay, no nos conocimos además por internet. ¿De qué hablas?
No, no,
Internet. Eso es muy
tuyo,
colombiano, ¿no?
muy tuyo.
Ay. Em, pero no tenía que ver con matrimonio ni compra de esposos. ¿Ves? No es lo que tú dijiste. Es
Pues
que
yo
tú
me
te
fui,
fuiste muy lejos.
pues
Era
sí,
como el
es,
mercado de que,
pero es,
no,
pasa,
no, pero
pasa.
no, 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 pero no,
O sea,
pero no.
no estoy hablando de cosas que no son plausibles.
So someone said, Colombia is one of the countries I want to visit most. And do you have like a specific city or region that you would like to visit?
Because it's it's
Because,
a very, very broad,
yeah,
in terms of culture and geography. It's you're gonna, if you do visit, you're gonna see so many different just cultures and
and climates too.
yeah, climates.
You know, I was gonna say that I remember I went to the Katy Perry concert here in
Uh-huh.
Bogota.
I don't know where this is going, but go
Yeah,
ahead.
but just
Were
hear
you
me. Yeah.
disappointed how she looked
No, no,
like?
no, no. Of
She was a
course, no. She's
catfish?
super pretty. No, oh, and her singing is amazing. But no, I was gonna say that
Thank you for
she
that editorial, Danny.
she told like the audience that she had to go backstage to have oxygen, like
Yeah.
an oxygen mask, and she said like, so when they told me that I was going to have a tour and I was going to go to Colombia, I just googled Colombia and I saw these beautiful beaches and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to go to like a super hot weather place." But
Right.
she didn't search Bogota.
Yeah, yeah. You have to search for
Yeah,
the
so it was
city
so
that you're
fun. She
going.
said like, so I packed shorts and super short tops and
swimsuits like
yeah, and
you.
now she was dying of hypothermia in the concert. So yeah, um, yeah, that's my story.
Yeah, was a good. That was good.
Yeah.
It's not quite Dune, but your Dune moment, but that was good.
uh, so they're saying, dear Danny and Nicolas. Oh,
Yes,
so you've answered this before, but maybe you can do like a little summary.
I don't know how to do little summaries. You know this.
Um,
Take me like 5 hours to answer.
so they're saying, dear Danny and Nicolas, how do you clean your paint brushes? And what do you think of the method that uses oil, like saf-
Safflower.
safflower,
Yeah.
walnut, etc., rather than solvents?
Yeah, it's very good. It's very, very good. And I used to do it with like industrial grade oil just to make so that it was cheaper. So because, oil can also get to be expensive if you're using it to clean your brushes. And it was really good. It's probably like the healthiest way to clean your brushes, to be honest, because it doesn't entail the use of solvents or soaps or anything. Uh, the only thing is that your brushes, even if you wash them afterwards, your brushes will hold some of the oil in the ferrule of the brush inside. Remember, your the bristles won't go up to here. They actually go way down also. So there's always going to be a bit of oil, in there. And I started noticing that my brushes were just constantly kind of wet. And I don't like that. Like and again, this is like a me thing. This is like completely personal. Um, just my own sensibility, my own lack of taste. But I just didn't like that with for my painting or for my brushes. The fact that they always felt like I had just dipped them. Not quite that I had just dipped them in oil, but they really felt like slippery, especially after like months of doing it. So I had to stop doing it. It just wasn't working for me. It was again, it was fine. It was perfectly fine in terms of cleaning your brushes, but for me it was just annoying to just sense a ton of oil under my brush all the time.
So the person that told us that wanted to come to Colombia,
Yeah.
they're saying they want to come to Bogota, Cali, Medellin,
Oh,
and
nice.
then to a beach city. So maybe I
Yeah.
guess Cartagena.
Cartagena, Santa Marta. Yeah.
Yeah. Also San Andres, but that's
Well, that's
but
that's
that's
not Colombia.
yeah,
Well, it
it's
is.
Colombia, but it's an
Yeah.
island. So
Yeah, but it's
you
an
would have
island
to
way up north.
yeah.
It's closer to Nicaragua than it is to Colombia. So
Yeah. Eh, alguien dice Katy Perry, Dios, un pedido muy serio. ¿Podéis preparar una canción para cantarnos mañana? No, espera. Yo creo que hay un problema, Nicolás, y es que hemos molestado tanto con
yo no he
lo de
molestado.
cantar
Yo
que
no.
la gente cree que yo canto bien y la verdad tengo una voz de tarro horrorosa. O
Pero
sea,
¿quién
yo,
habrá
yo
vendido la
canto,
idea de que tú
no, sí,
cantas bien?
me arrepiento porque la verdad
Mm,
yo canto muy feo. O sea,
mm.
era un chiste mío para decir que le ganaba a Nicolás
Por
cantando, pero
fin la
yo
verdad sale.
canto,
La verdad cojea.
él y yo
La
cantamos
verdad es
muy
como la
feos,
justicia.
muy
Y
feos.
yo ya me
Sí,
metiste.
porque pues a ver,
¿Y por qué me estás metiendo?
porque es la
O sea,
realidad.
tú aquí estás en tu momento de
Él
ser
canta
honesta
muy feo
y
y
me
yo
estás
también
echando el
canto
agua a
muy
mí.
feo.
No, no, no. No me eches el agua a mí
El
solo porque tú
peor.
tienes que sentirte bien por haber dicho mentiras. No, no,
No,
no.
no, no mentiras. Solo quería ganar esa competencia, que contra ti gano,
No, y
pero
sigues.
porque los dos cantamos muy feo.
Los dos. Oye,
Entonces sí, no vamos a...
¿qué es esta? No, no, no entiendo no entiendo.
Tú sabes que cantas
A mí
horrible.
me encantaría, en serio, por ahí, porque he pensado en esto resto, en la ducha, pienso resto en esto. Y una clase de pronto sería muy poquito, pero si tuviéramos como entrenadores como esos programas de cantar, como los que te gustan, em, como The Voice o algo así, o sea, que a ti te entrenara Ariana y
No,
a mí me
pues
entrenara, no sé, cualquiera, Chayanne.
Blake.
Y, y Chayanne,
Sí, porque Ariana y Chayanne, pues un
Chayanne
poquito de
gana 100, o sea,
desventaja.
100% Chayanne, 100%. Eh, pero, y que nos enseñaran a cantar, nos entrenaran un mes. Un mes.
No, pero ya habías dicho una tarde y ya estás diciendo un mes.
Pues es que te estoy
No.
dando, es que en una tarde con tu voz no se hacen milagros, Lindita.
Y
O
con la
sea,
tuya no se hace un caldo. No,
con la
eso es lo
mía se
difícil.
conmueve, le puedo cantar al Papa,
No, pero
al,
pidiendo
al
auxilio.
Papa,
Sí, o sea,
al
un
Papa,
grito de
el
auxilio.
Papa. O sea,
No.
puedo cantar en Roma.
Mm,
Em, sí, es que un día para ti yo creo que no es justo. No es justo tampoco como exigirte tanto. O sea, los milagros toman tiempo. Esa es la verdad. Entonces, como que nos entrenaran un mes, ¿te imaginas? Y
no.
después venimos y tú cantas de primera, yo te daría como la
No,
opción de
y tú
cantar
no
primera.
cantarías, que yo te
No,
conozco, o
no,
sea,
no, no, el
pero no, espera.
compromiso es enorme, el
No, es que
compromiso
¿sabes qué
es
pasa? Que
gigante.
tú haces compromisos que no van a pasar, Coco.
Yo estoy,
No vamos a contratar un profesor un mes para que venga. ¿En qué momento?
le hacemos momento. O sea, podemos empezar en el stream que vamos a hacer de Año Nuevo, podemos empezar, podemos empezar con ese compromiso así.
No creo.
Y yo además me imaginaba, no, cuando te estén entrenando a ti, yo me pongo como tus audífonos, yo no tengo
No, pero
noise
esto ya es
canceling.
un reality
Sí, es increíble.
de
Yo me lo
televisión
pongo, yo me
terrible.
los pongo y me pongo a hacer cualquier cosa, me pongo a pintar o me pongo como a cualquier cosa, me pongo a jugar en el play.
Ujú.
Y tú ahí estás súper como involucrada, entrenando,
Involucrada
tratando,
es que trataste de decir invested.
sí, como involucrada con tu proyecto de mejorar esa voz. Tienes
Ujú.
todo mi apoyo. O sea, cero, no cuentas con mi fe, pero tienes todo mi apoyo.
Creo que estás alargando esto mucho.
Sí,
El
exacto.
caso es que sí, yo canto feo, Nicolás canta horrible
No,
y
mira,
nunca vamos a
mira las
cantar.
cosas que dices para sentirte mejor. Y has empezado súper honesta, súper bien.
No, canto muy feo, lo estoy diciendo. Pero
¿Y por qué y por qué no lo puedes dejar hasta ahí?
no, pues porque tengo oídos. Y
No, no,
porque
no,
no,
pero ¿y yo qué tenía que ver en esta conversación?
que los dos dijimos que íbamos a cantar y
Sí,
creo que
pero
por
déjame y
nuestro plan
yo,
de YouTube
déjame. No,
solo
yo no creo que se entiendan las canciones. Yo creo que el algoritmo de YouTube dice, yo creí que eso era Ariana Grande, pero no, no puede ser. No puede ser.
bueno, em, so they're asking you, what do you think about Narcos, Nicolas?
I don't think, have you watched
I've
any?
never.
I've never watched it either.
Yeah.
I know that as a show, people say it's good. It's just that yeah, I think both Danny and I just feel the same way about the glorification of violence. I mean, we don't want to get it. We don't want to get into a whole conversation about why it's super painful.
Yeah,
At
it's
least
also
for
because of the image that people get.
yeah, yeah. It's
And
always like
because, I mean, it was real, so
right,
it
right.
was a country that suffered a lot because of the violence of drugs.
So I'll tell you guys. I'll give you like a small snippet. Like I don't think, but any of our families. Well, my family was displaced from land
Like it
that
wasn't
they
really,
owned.
yeah, my
Oh wow,
grandmother too.
right, right, right. So we did. You know, if you go way back, I think both of us have histories where there's forced displacement from any sort of type of narco guerrilla groups. So, but I think directly we like our generation hasn't been influenced. But I'll tell you this. I'll tell you something that you very seldom will hear about these things. But for example, one of the things when in the I would say late 80s, maybe early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, they were setting off bombs, like the cartels were setting off bombs in Bogota, and they were doing it quite. I'm not going to say that every day you would hear a bomb going off, but it was something that was happening with enough. How do you say that? With enough
Fre-
regularity
frequency?
that, yeah, frequency that, for example, in my house, our parents said, don't sleep right next to the window. So we had to sleep with our feet, kind of facing the window because the bed would actually face the windows behind us. don't sleep right next to the window because if a bomb goes off, the windows will shatter and the glass will fall on your face. So this is like a very dumb little example of how you kind of start normalizing violence, and
And
it's
how this
terrible. It's
also how
horrible.
these programs like do a glorification of the persons, like the people who do all this damage to our country, and to that killed a lot of people and hurt a lot of families and displaced a lot of people from their own houses. So yeah, we're not that into, like, I think we would never watch that.
No, probably not.
Yeah,
But I
like we're
know
not
that a lot of people
interested.
here in Colombia, they obviously they watch the
Yeah,
show, but it's something that I think both Danny and I are super similar in that way that it's not for us. It's
yeah,
not. I don't think it's cool. I think there's tons of stories that could be told about Colombia that don't necessarily have to, revolve around like narco terrorism or drugs. I mean, it's just doesn't. It's always annoying to me. I think that's like super low hanging fruit, and the more they do it, the more people do it. And I know that there are interested people that are interested in those stories, but the more it's done, then the more we start to believe and people outside start to believe that that's the identity of our country, like that there's nothing else to our country but that. So I don't know. Again, you guys can totally enjoy those shows. It's just that they're not for us, I
yeah.
would say.
No, they're saying, Danny, your mic. I can't hear Danny. Can you hear me now? Because
I know it's like a
it's
today thing
something's
for some.
happening with the
Yeah,
microphone. Yeah,
for some reason the mic
like it's
today.
disconnecting.
Yeah, it keeps disconnecting. I'm guessing it's the cable, Danny. I'm super
Yeah,
guessing it's the cable. You know what? Tomorrow we'll try like a USB mic that I have, which is not great, but it never runs into trouble.
yeah.
So we'll make
And
that
we
one
have to
work.
get another cable of this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
So I'm guessing it has to be the mic, the cable,
yeah.
the audio jack.
Mm,
You could totally, if you want, Danny. I mean, it's gonna take a little. Oh no, you have to get through tons
oh
of
no,
cables.
no.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine. I
No,
mean,
we can't do it today.
because it appears like a little notification on screen that I showed you
Yeah, yeah,
about
yeah.
the input.
It's almost
I
yeah,
just
as if
have to be like super ¿cómo digo?
like
Como
aware of
yeah, aware of it and
just keep an eye
click.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's annoying though.
Yeah. Um
Again,
have
sorry
what
if it's a downer. We don't want to sound like yeah, we're going to ruin your TV show that you love. It's just how we feel about it. And it's okay. We don't, if you like it,
I mean,
no judgment from us.
and I
That's
don't
totally
think it's
fine.
bad to tell the story. The problem is that, like, that's the vision that a lot of people outside Colombia have of Colombia.
Of
So
every bit of Colombia
yeah,
also.
yeah, and a lot of people is super scared to come to Colombia, and yeah, we think Colombia is a lot more than that. So
It's not perfect. We would never say
oh
it's
no,
perfect.
of course
No.
no, but
And that is very much so a part of our reality for sure.
yeah,
But it's not all that there is to our
it's not
country. So
only that. I mean, um, yeah. So Anania says, because she was the one who asked, and she says that she haven't watched Narcos. Uh, they're also asking, have you seen Outlander?
I think Anania, I don't know if
What?
yeah, I don't know the gender of that name. So Anania,
Um, they're asking if you've seen Outlander.
Outlander. I don't think
I think I'm
so.
looking. It's a series.
Series?
Yeah, a series on Netflix.
Yeah.
We haven't.
Nope.
No,
No.
this one.
Yeah. No. I can't. Nope.
No, we haven't. Is it good? Because I remember that you guys told us about the OA.
Yeah, we gave it a shot.
So Anania says, "Oh, no worries. I'm male." So yeah. We haven't. Oh, we were sorry. I got lost in what I was saying, but you told us about the OA, and we stopped watching that series
Yeah, on
because
the second beginning of the second season. Yeah,
was
we
it
had to
second
stop.
season? I
Yeah,
don't
yeah, we
think
had to
so.
stop.
Yeah,
It's okay.
we
I mean,
we were
totally.
we were not that into. No, but the point that I was trying to get to is that we are open to other suggestions to maybe start watching another series. Don't you think?
Sí.
See? See? Oh, yes.
Sí, yes, 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 yes. Yes, Danielita.
mm, so they're saying Anthony Bourdain really got me interested in Colombia. And I don't know how to say this. Myriad, Coco. Myriad?
Oh, myriad es como muchas
Yeah, and a
diferentes
myriad of countries.
Sí,
They're
sí,
saying.
como muchos distintos. It's a nice word. Oh,
Mm,
I think that the best way to broaden your mind and your the to question the things that you think you believe in, or to learn how to be more tolerant and more understanding with other human beings, is traveling for sure. Like, we think some many times that, like, we mistakenly think that this planet is so small that we don't realize that it's a very, very big planet with tons of different beliefs and tons of different religions and philosophies. So, best thing you can do when you travel is just have an open mind. And I know that we tend to be overly judgmental, especially in places that are democracies, where we feel like we've taken huge steps in helping, our societies to be um just like uh equal, but and we are shocked when we go to places where we don't, immediately see that being reflected. But the truth is, again, this is a big planet with a, enormous history, and it's super varied, and it's super, wonderful when you give it a shot, you try to understand people, I feel. So I'm not saying that I justify tons of things that happen around the world, but I always feel that the easiest way out is just to say, "Oh, these people are barbaric." Like, that society is just, stuck in like horrible traditions, and they have no idea that the world is moving forward, and they don't know anything about equal rights, and I know that, like, we as a planet should strive for those things. I think that those things could be universal, but I don't think our planet is being helped by many times our like our posture, where we always think we're right and we always think other people are stupid or wrong or idiots or ignorant. It's always like that. It's always like, you're either with me and you agree with our belief system that is for a better world, or whatever definition of better world that we've sort of you know kind of agreed upon, I guess, or you're against us. And I think in that way, you're only going to polarize the planet even more. I mean, more polarized than it is even right now. And I just think people stopped understanding that there's always going to be different people in this planet. Like, there's always going to be differing views on everything, on absolutely everything, from the most important things to the most minute of things. But I've always believed that the idea was to be able to sit on a table and to be, capable of talking about it, to be capable of just reaching some sort of agreement between two parts that were naturally opposed. But I have a feeling that nowadays the world is turning into, I am right and you're wrong. You are dumb for thinking that. You're stupid for not being with us. And I said this in one conversation. I think we were talking live, I feel, in Instagram. Um, that I don't know what people are waiting. Like, they're hoping that the people that disagree, they just disappear, or the people that they feel ignorant, they just disappear from this planet, from this world, and that their beliefs just go with them, and that their ignorance just goes with them. Like, I have no idea what people are expecting when they say we are right and you're wrong. Like we're gonna vote, we're gonna disappear you through voting. Like people are never gonna disappear, and their beliefs are not gonna disappear. And I don't know. I always think that it's always better to just believe that I can sit down. I'm capable of sitting down, even if I don't agree with you. I'm capable of sitting down and just having an honest conversation with anyone. And I'm not talking about people that are just completely out of their minds, by the way. No, I'm talking about just different philosophies in life and different, histories in this planet. I think we should be able to do that. We should be capable of doing that. Because if not, what's the answer? Like economic, you just close the borders, you just close sending food or whatever that country needs to those countries, or you just bomb the hell out of them like the US does. What do you do? What do you do? That's not the answer. That's clearly not the answer. So I don't know. I think that I think I was getting to the point that traveling is one of those things that makes you understand that, wow, the idea that I had of this planet was so small. It was so freaking small that I if I wanted to understand myself as like a planetary being, like just a human being that has occupied this planet, and that this is our home, there's nowhere else. As much as you want to go into a penis shaped rocket and go to the moon or somewhere, this is going to be our home. Like this is it. And it's super hard to escape this home. And if we have um, any sort of hope for us as a species, it can't be that we just get rid of dumb, stupid people. That we just wish those people away. It can't just be that. That's like so almost like lazy to believe that that's the only answer. So I don't know. I don't
Um,
know.
so
Anyways, I went off in a tangent, but I actually I believe super deeply in those things. And whenever I've been able to travel, it's been amazing because I've always, you know, I always come back with a wonderful experience, like eye-opening experience from different places that I've seen around the world. It's always amazing.
so Anania said, "You always refer to us as they." Oh
Yeah,
yes, we do because
yeah,
we are
we
no one to assume someone's gender. I mean,
exactly. Yeah. So
yeah,
we always when in doubt, and that doubt can't really come from just another language. Like there's a bunch of names that are in other languages, like proper names that are in other
but
languages that we
also
just don't really know.
yeah, but
And
also just not.
and just as a
Oh,
fact,
sorry.
your name, yeah, like Danny, her name is Daniela, but nowadays you can't just assume that
Yeah,
Daniela is a
no, but I
she.
was
So
going to say that it's not only the name because I could be Daniela, but if I would like to be identified as a he, that would be okay. I
oh
mean,
yeah, no,
we
that's
could never assume the gender of someone.
yeah,
So,
and I totally get it. Like for me, we talk a lot about this with Danny, by the way, like super openly, and just trying to learn from each other. I think Danny is super cool about this, and she certainly corrected me and helped me out a ton. I feel, and I'm I never get to a point where I'm afraid to speak, which was always like my biggest fear, that I was just, if I spoke the way I used to speak, or I just wanted to speak what I understood as naturally, that I would be offending somebody without even noticing. No. But I think, like, for example, just saying they or them instead of he or she is such a small little ask, honestly. That's
but
such
it
a
makes a
tiny thing
huge
that makes,
difference.
exactly,
I mean,
that makes a huge difference. And
it means nothing for the people that's saying it, but it could mean everything to the people that want to not be identified with a specific gender. So, I mean, because people sometimes are so closed minded for using they,
mhm.
and like, why? I mean,
Yeah,
you
it's
just
not.
have to change a word and you're including everyone and you're making everyone feel comfortable. So, why would you mind changing one word,
Yeah, and
right?
it's not even a word that is outside the language. It's
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
It's right there and you can use it. So, yeah, for us it's and for me in particular, it's learning every day, and I'm sure, and especially like for example, if we want to live stream, I'm sure I'm bound to say something stupid at some point, and I just hope that
But not something stupid like something bad. I mean,
no,
because you're
no, that
saying this, and
I'll just make a
if you don't
mistake. I'll just
contextualize, it's
right. I'll just make a I'll just make a mistake because and it's honestly if and this is super important for me too. And I think I've talked about it. I think I've talked about this too also a couple of times. I just think we've also become like zero tolerance, absolute zero tolerance for everything. And I was saying the other day how it is so important to have a space where you can mess up and you can learn. And those spaces are becoming like far more difficult to find because if somebody says, like, for example, neither Danny or I, like, we have I have um, a, um, a Twitter account, but I never use it. I tried to use it. I think I posted like a painting and nothing happened because I don't have any followers or anything. So I was like, yeah, Twitter's not my thing, but I actually abhor Twitter. I really don't like it at all, at all. Because I think that understanding one's voice through Twitter is one of the most dangerous and super like tough things to ask out of a human
but
being. And that's why so many people just say things so quickly and there's no room for error, you know? Nobody in there is going to be like, "Oh, did you mean this or maybe you meant this in another context?"
but
No.
you know,
Yes,
sorry
go
to
ahead. No, no,
interrupt,
no,
but
go
I
ahead.
was going to say that, like you were saying, oh, maybe I do a mistake, like I make a mistake, and that's okay for everyone. But the thing with Twitter is that I think people don't, like, they underestimate the weight of the words they're
Right.
saying, like, because you can't just talk and be super rude or be maybe like attack someone and then be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it," because I mean, those words came out of your word. I mean, a mistake is one thing, but like not trying to make your words make sense with the things that you believe, well, that's another thing, and that's not a mistake, you know?
Right, but
And that's the thing that happens with Twitter, because I think that people sometimes are super mean
yeah,
on
but
Twitter.
yeah, no, and you're totally right about everything that you're saying there, but you also have to you also have to admit that it's super hard to find your own voice. Like you as a person, Danny, you're super consequente. Consequent? No.
Let me see.
Like there is with Danny, and this is what actually surprised me, and I was like floored by it. There's like there is
Consequent, yeah.
yeah, is it consequent?
Consistent
Yeah,
or
there's a well,
consequential?
yeah. Well, there's a consistency between what Danny believes in and what comes out of her mouth. Like it's amazing. Um and I was shocked. I was shocked at that. And sometimes with me, for example, and I'll say it, like I was either trying to be funny or I was just saying whatever. Like my the weight that I would put on my words was never really as much as with Danny, that like the weight that Danny would give to hers. And at the beginning of our relationship, we talked a lot about that, and I was super defensive at the beginning. I'm
Yeah, and we're talking about like humor,
right,
like
right.
the things that you find funny.
Yeah, and here I'm not saying like, oh my god, Danny like clipped his wings and she changed. No, no, no. I think the underlying kind of core of what we always talked about was that words have weight to them. Like what you say matters, and you can always go back and you can mess up, but words do matter. And what I was trying to get to is that usually there's spaces where you can train yourself where words matter, like in a family, for example, or in a group of friends. You'll say something stupid, like you'll make mistakes, because that's every one of us. I have never met
Yeah, but
anyone in my life that doesn't say any, like, has never said anything that's stupid. Never. That is going to happen. The thing is, if you're in your family, like people can call you out and say, "Whoa, that was, come on, like
That's stupid. Yeah.
that was stupid. That's not right." But people don't just go like, "Oh my God, what came out of your mouth? I don't want to talk to you ever again. Like you're an insensitive, horrible human being." No, like you have a place where you can start to understand your own voice, where you can train yourself to understand your own voice. And I think that like the biggest mistake is people believing that they can understand their own voice through a place like Twitter. It's ridiculous. Like that is not a place where you grow. I don't think so. I really don't think so. That's why you'll get people that say something stupid, and a couple of years later they'll keep saying stupid shit. Like, and I'm not saying stupid as in, oh, that's like a bad joke, or oh, that could be like an insensitive joke. Like, no, sometimes it's like, really stupid, hurtful things at their core. So I just don't feel it's a healthy place. I just don't think. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of people that are emotionally intelligent and that they know how to take their time to write a message, and they know how to react and choose their words really wisely. I'm sure there's people out there that can be that person, but for sure the you know that's not the whole of us, you know. And Twitter made everyone believe that, yeah, you have a voice, your voice just means that you can tweet, like you can just tweet anything, and that's your voice, and you can defend your voice. But honestly, that's not how it goes. Like that's so not it.
Yeah,
So
and and I agree, but when you were talking about like having spaces to get to know your voice, well, I would be a little bit more drastic because you know me, and I would say that you should always be like super conscious of what you're saying,
right, but there,
because 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 we had this conversation before, but I told you that, I mean, you cannot say, for example, a joke that's offending and then say, like, oh no, but I mean, it's a joke. I mean, I don't really think that, because I think personally that if it's going out of your mouth, it's because that idea is in in your head, because you cannot just speak for the act of speaking.
right,
Like
but
every word comes from an idea, so you have to be super consequent
right, but
with
let's
what you're
say,
saying.
this, because I am like I love darker comedy, for
Oh yeah,
example,
no, and I get
and
that,
you
but
don't like it that much. There's
no,
always like a limit for the stuff that you like,
but
and I'm always like, oh, I can go way beyond that
yeah, but
limit.
you know that that's
Right.
because
But we have each other, and I'll just tell you, oh my God, this joke was amazing. Like, I won't be afraid to tell you this joke that it's a great joke because it makes me feel bad for liking it. Like,
oh yeah,
it
no, no,
makes me
no,
feel
and
uncomfortable for
you've
laughing.
shown me like comedy artist, how do you call
Yeah,
them?
like comedians.
Yeah, comedians that you like that have super like dark humor. And when I was saying a joke, I was not referring like to you saying a joke, because I've really never heard you say a terrible joke.
No, but
But
I'm sure I've said really stupid things in
yeah,
my past.
but the
I'm
thing with
positive.
me is that, like, I don't know why, but I cannot wrap my head, sorry, around like thinking that something's funny, when in reality I'm super opposed to that, because like feeling that something can be hurtful, but at the same time feeling that it can be funny. But that's me. I mean, I know that a lot of people find that things like super funny, dark humor or whatever, but I can't. Yeah.
Yeah, but like as I was saying, and we don't have to, because we could speak for the like about this for
Yeah.
ages.
Yeah.
But but for example, you and I are two people that you know can check themselves. you know we can do that with ourselves. Like sometimes we will have tough conversations where I'll say, oh, would it be weird if I say this, and you can be like, oh yeah, that sounds weird, and I'll try to defend it. I'll try to be like, well, but I don't mean it in this way. Like I'm trying to say this and this, and we actually get into not arguments but in conversations about, I guess, ultimately the use of language,
Yeah.
and which is super cool. But we have that space. But I
Yeah.
think that people don't have that space
Yeah,
anymore.
no, I got you. And
Like that space is not like Reddit and it's not Twitter
yeah, and
and
that's
it's
also because of the cancel culture. Because,
yeah,
I
that's
mean,
tough one. That's a
yeah, and having, like, if you say something online, it's gonna be there forever. Yeah. And what you're
toda la
saying,
vida.
and when what you're saying is true, because that doesn't give room for people to grow.
Yeah,
Because
just
I'm also like, I'm super drastic with the things that I find funny, or that I find like offensive maybe.
mhm.
But I do believe that people can learn what you were saying, because there should be a place and a space for people to know why that's not funny. I mean, because sometimes people just say things and they don't realize that they're hurting a lot of people. So yeah, what you say is true. I mean, there should be space for people to
Yeah, but
learn to
and to be honest,
talk
Danny, like
properly.
as I don't mean to say that you're sounding drastic, but as committed you are to what you believe, you're still with me. Like we're
Oh
still,
yeah.
you know, so
And
that
I
just
do
goes
jokes, because
yeah,
now
and then
it
yeah,
sounds
and
like I'm super
oh,
like
like horrible person.
closed-minded, and I'm not. I mean, it's just, yeah, what you said. I'm super aware of my words always,
Yeah,
or I try to be, at least.
yeah.
So,
Except when you say dong, like
yeah.
and that you want to breathe
But
in the
that's me
coldness of
no,
the night.
that's me being lost in translation.
Yeah. Oh
That's
yeah,
not
blame it
me
on that.
being
Yeah, that's a easy way out. No, no, no. But I was saying like we're still together, and I am of a very different humor than you are. And what I'll kind of do sometimes when I go like, oh, maybe this is like a dumb but maybe inappropriate comment. Like not inappropriate. Like please don't like. It's never gonna be something that's like super terrible. But it's just humor, like in terms of comedy, and I always try to run it through you. And even if it's a joke that I'll never say, and I think that it would have been a great joke, I always just run it through you, and then you kind of laugh, but you say, "Okay,
no,
that's
but
so wrong."
I
Yeah, yeah,
never
yeah.
laugh.
And then you
That's
say,
the
"Okay, but
thing,
so
because I
wrong."
never fake laugh
Yeah, and
about
you'll
that
say,
thing.
"Okay, yeah, but that's so wrong." I'll feel fine. Like if I can't say it to friends or to anyone, and but I ran it through you, and I just laughed when I say it. Like I just wanted the delivery. I wanted to feel, to experience the delivery, and then you'll say like, okay, that's too much, and I'll be like, okay, that's I'm fine. I just needed to say it, but yeah, yeah,
Um, they were asking, do you support the LGBTQ plus community? 1,000% yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we have been. It's really hard to divorce the artistic community, which is highly liberal, um, from efforts in all sorts of equality. So we were both part of a university where you experience the universality of thought. That's what a university is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And usually in the arts, that's where you get to experience it most closely. And I think that that's, when you're close, when it's not just words or terms or letters, but you see human beings behind, those, words, or the way we use language to nominate, um, people. When you actually meet the human being, that I think changes your world.
Yeah, and
So
also, at
yeah,
least
go
for
ahead.
me, it's, I don't know why people like are so like adamant to change someone's liking. I mean, what do you care if someone likes someone of their same how do I say, gender, or
Yep. Yeah.
es como se dice sexo en inglés?
Well,
The same sex?
yeah.
Yeah. Like, what do you care? I mean, why does it affect you? I mean, if someone's happy, well, that's that's super cool for them. You don't have a word. You don't have a saying on that. So yeah, I don't know if
Yeah,
you
no,
agree
no.
or.
I was just remembering how we think, okay, that's fine, but if it doesn't affect me, but when it starts affecting me, then that's my problem, because it's usually, that's kind of the philosophy. It's like, not in my backyard. Like, as soon as it
Yeah,
starts
but
affecting me,
why people think it will affect them?
but
I mean,
exactly, but no, but it happens with, schools, or like, bathrooms, for example. That's when everything starts to get super, super distorted. Or with sports, we have this conversation with sports a lot, because it's a conversation that I like to have. But we talk about this, for example. I knew of stories that, for example, of gay men whose parents exorcised them. They actually brought priests into their home to
yeah, people are
exorcise
so
children, because they felt this was wrong. That is just absurd. That is just unimaginable in a society like that is trying to, move forward and be better, um, with the passive time. So when you hear those stories, you meet those, people, those real people that go through those, just immensely traumatic moments in their lives. I mean, how can you not start to be sensitive to those, people that are affected, directly affected by these things? So yeah, we are super, super, it's tough. They are not easy conversations. They certainly never are. Certainly, in terms of
but
language,
they
Danny and
should
I have
be.
had conversations in terms of, trying to understand. I remember I've had to learn a ton about, gender. um Danny sometimes says, "No, that's not gender. That's sexuality. That has nothing to do with gender." So there's a language component, but there's also like education. It is tough. I think people have to be more patient with other people when they're trying. When you realize, hey, I'm gonna make mistakes, but it's, I'm trying to learn from them. I think people still have to be a little more. Yes, people that speak have to be more mindful, and people that are obviously being affected by those words, they also have to realize, okay, this person is trying to understand, and there has to be an effort in both sides. I always feel that this takes like the effort of everyone involved, so that we can understand how to speak to each other. But
Yeah,
yeah, we are highly supportive
a
of
thousand
yeah,
percent.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Just, equality in this world. That's,
yeah,
the bigger question all the time has to do with
yeah.
equality.
And
So,
being you, I mean, you should never feel bad for loving someone else. I mean, I don't know. I just
well,
no,
for example, like our relationship is, not common, I would say.
because of
There's a
age, maybe.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's a big age difference, and we've never given it like a second thought. We've
No,
never ever
but
given it.
people do sometimes.
I'm
And
sure they
it's like,
do.
why do you care? I mean, because that's why what I think. Like, if I love someone and that someone is in love with someone of their same gender, why do you care? I mean, if they're happy, that's what matters. And that's all. I mean, end of the conversation. You should never get into what someone likes and try to change that. Because, like, that's not your life. You're living your life as you think it's okay, and let the people live their lives as they want to live them. It's not your business. I'm getting a little bit mad
Oh
here.
yeah, she's
Sorry.
maybe it's because you're banging on the desk that your microphone gets disconnected all the time,
No,
Danny.
I'm not banging on the desk.
Yeah, keep it.
Calm down.
Calm down. Jesus Christ. See, I was gonna do a joke, and I was gonna say women, but that's a joke.
That's
That's
a
a bad
stupid joke.
joke. That's
Yeah,
a
I would
dumb,
never laugh
sexist joke.
about
But
that.
I thought about it. I didn't say it.
No, you did say it, and that's stupid. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I love you, but that's not a joke,
It was a
Nicolas.
bad joke, but it's knowingly a bad joke. It was knowingly a bad joke.
Um. So, do you guys have any other questions? Maybe,
Oh,
because we've been talking for like, I don't know, 20 minutes straight
yeah, and it
or
always
more.
happens when I paint a plastic bag. It always goes into gender conversations about gender. So,
They're saying Danny's rants.
yeah, yeah.
Mm, They're saying, who cares who people love? Yeah, 1,000% with that.
Yeah. If it works, it works.
Mm, they're saying, ha, I found you live. It's nice to hear, Danny. Thank you. Thank you, Todd, so much. Um, they're also saying, you two are adorable.
Thank you.
Thank
The adorable
you.
part, I think, like I have to give, I'm not too quick to say that Danny takes the medal when it comes to singing, but the adorable part, she's very cute.
No,
She
you're
is like
just being
super
nice
super
to
cute.
me. No, you are.
I had never met anyone so pretty. So
So pretty.
yeah, I just didn't know. I thought I was getting scared. I was looking for an adjective and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get into trouble.
um, so there's a change of topic here. They're
Okay,
saying,
let's do a complete 180.
yeah. Mm, I have a question.
Yes.
Just joined after painting all day. Just wondering, when you paint smaller figures, thumb-sized heads, how do you go about making their features realistic?
Oh, it's so tough, right? Isn't it like super, super difficult? Because any small change, like the tiniest of changes, just makes an enormous difference. So it's very tough. It's really, really tough. Like, I don't get into like super fine detail when I do those smaller portraits. And I've talked about the workshop that I did in Liverpool, and I was super super lucky to be working alongside Anastasia Pollard. She's amazing. She's an amazing amazing painter, like absolutely amazing, and she's capable of doing these small portraits, like because she'll do like a 8 by 10 or 11 by 14 painting. Maybe it's like closer to 8 by 10 ish, or 9 by 12 maybe. And so the portrait, and she'll do like either head and the body until the hips maybe, but sometimes she'll do like full ish body if there's a seated figure, and she will get like the most amazing expressions. But you should see her paint. Like, she takes her time and she's super super careful about almost every single little mark that she puts down. Like, that's not how I paint. I'm like super gun ho ish when I paint. I just go for it, and many times I'm wrong and then I have to adjust, and it's really it's really difficult. I guess that's like the honest answer. There's no kind of simple way of doing it. People that are better drafts people, they are far more capable than I am to when hitting those tiny little marks, those tiny little moments that you have to hit, so that you know the the uh, the the portrait just reads properly, or whatever expression you want to your figure to have, in that kind of small dimension, reads accurately. But I don't think there's an easy answer here. It's just difficult. It's just very very difficult.
Yeah, we had a friend. He was a teacher of mine, and he became a friend of mine, and also.
My mic.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, I think so. No. Can you hear me now? I don't know what's going on with the mic, but yeah, I was saying that we had a friend of ours. He was a teacher of mine, and then he became a friend of mine, and he was a friend of Nicolas too. And Alfonso,
Yep. Yeah.
he sadly passed away, and he was super good with like super tiny portrait paintings. Like,
Yeah.
they were super detailed. I'm going to try to find one online so I can show you guys.
Yeah. He never took like good photographs of them, unfortunately.
No, but I think that
Like in real
some are
life.
in the galleries.
Yeah, but in real life, they were so much better than the photographs.
Yeah, but the detail, oof, it was amazing, and they were so small.
Yeah, he was almost like a like high Renaissance painter.
So
They would almost feel like Van Eyck ish. I know I'm
yeah,
exaggerating. I know, but the feeling was kind of that when you would see the paintings. It's really really cool.
so just
Danny, I
yeah,
was gonna say, like,
yeah.
I can look for the USB mic. but I don't know if I'm gonna work that much more.
Oh no, that's
So
fine.
yeah, but for tomorrow, you can use that mic, and
Yeah.
it's not great audio. Like I stopped using it because it was like a pretty cheap mic, and the audio's not great, but we can make it work.
So I'm trying to look for the painting. Um, I don't know where because I download an image and I'll give it.
It's in my desktop.
Yeah.
By the way, while Danny's doing that, um, I've been slowly chipping away at the painting. I don't know if you guys have noticed that it's been a lot of just broad and then small and then back to broad and then back to small. It's really kind of like a nice rhythm of a painting. And now I'm trying to decide if I just leave it open. You know how this is probably one of the most beautiful things that this paper has to offer as a substrate is the fact that there is like a heavy grain to it, and you could see it where I'm dragging my strokes. You could see it up here, like in this area, and you could see it where the paint hasn't gone into all the little grooves of the paper, little fibers of the paper, that you see this. And especially of course it happens a lot more if you paint like me and your surface is not it's not primed. um, and I've always said that if you're going to work on a surface like this that has this character, then you're supposed to showcase that character. You're not supposed to try and hide it. Mm, if you hide it, if you work really, really hard to hide it, it means that you weren't really ever um, kind of convinced that this was a surface that you wanted to use. So I always kind of try to push myself to say, okay, why did I choose this surface? And let me see in which instances of the painting can I make it evident that this was a conscious choice, that this was a conscious effort to pick this surface. So I think the moments where that texture is showcased, it's really beautiful. And I feel that it would be nice if that texture sort of opens up as the painting goes from left to right, because this painting obviously it reads left to right. So as it unwinds, let's say, because this is very suggested, but I hope it reads. Does it read well, like on screen, Danny?
Yeah.
Do you feel
Yeah,
it
it
reads,
does.
like plasticky in
Yeah.
some way? As it sort of unwinds, there's a very nice kind of contrasty shadow here, but I don't want to make it too contrasty because I don't want any of these values to compete with the values that I have on the other side. So I much rather just leave it open. I think it's a very nice, tight rhythm in here. There are tiny little moments. I don't know how accurate they are, but hopefully I'm getting the feeling of plastic, of something being wrapped into itself. I think that was my goal. Um, and then eventually it just kind of you know turns into color. I would say that's kind of my aim, that it just becomes far more akin to its own nature as paint. Hopefully that kind of makes sense and it doesn't sound like complete rubbish. But that's what I was going for. So I'm not really too, and that's why I was telling Danny I don't know if I'm going to do that much, to be honest, because I don't know if I'm super interested in trying to close that shape here, to just keep working here as if that was this area of the painting. I think it wouldn't be intelligent for me to do so, because then I would have these two shapes, or these two moments of this one shape, one bigger shape, competing for attention. But the thing is that they are opposite ends of this kind of band that goes right across the painting. So why would I want my eye to go from here to here to here to here? and just so violently to jump from one place to another. So maybe I'm just going to leave it like that. I think it's very nice. The openness. I'm always about openness and things feeling a little bit more painterly. So I think that this is nice. It's a nice exercise, a nice moment to reflect upon, like the nature of this, again, this object. So I think it's pretty cool. I think we did well today, and especially we had like those tough conversations that we sometimes think, oh my god, talking about this, it just it's painful to talk about these tougher conversations that we have nowadays. I think we can have those conversations while painting. I don't think those are conversations that have to be avoided while working. I think they're kind of cool. Honestly, my painting class was kind of always had that vibe,
Yeah.
open conversations, like super, super open conversations.
Yeah.
And again, sometimes you heard a lot of stupid stuff, but it was
A
like
safe space.
like a judgment. No, well, not entirely judgment free space, but if somebody had wanted to say,
But like
hey,
an
that
open
was weird,
space.
that sounded
Yeah.
weird, they could say it without, making the person
And also
say,
a learning space.
right. And I'm always like, as a teacher, I was always super aware, and this is really important for me, to to maybe make people realize, like, oh, maybe the way you expressed it didn't really showcase what you wanted to say.
Yeah.
But and you have to say those things, but also you don't want to say it so harshly that the person then starts to be afraid of their own voice.
Yeah.
Because as artists, like, if you start thinking that whatever's going to come out of your mouth or whatever thought you have is wrong, like
Yeah.
you start equating your thoughts or your voice with wrongness, then
Yeah.
you'll never be able to express
Yeah,
yourself.
and I think that's super important. I'm sorry that I
No, 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 go
interrupted
ahead.
you, but because I was saying that I'm super like I know what I think it's funny and what's not, but I think that it's super important to know how to tell people why that was hurtful or
Right.
why that wasn't the best way to say something, because you cannot just be like, "Oh, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about, stop talking." Like, that's not okay.
Right.
That would
Well,
never make the person change
right. It
the
doesn't.
way they're thinking or the way they're expressing what they're thinking.
Right. Or contemplate what they said,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
the
yeah.
objective, the objective, I feel many times, can't be just, oh, change.
Yeah.
You are the problem,
Yeah.
and you just have to change because I am good, I am great, I know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about,
And
I
also,
am always
I
right.
think that I try and you try too, that when we encounter sorry, a situation like that,
Mm-hmm.
we try to like have a conversation, an open conversation with the person, and letting them know why we think that's not the best way to approach
Yeah, but
a
never
topic, for
preachy. I
example.
don't, I don't
Yeah.
think we're at
Yeah, because
all.
I wanted to say that because I was super like I defined myself as harsh when I was talking
Mm-hmm.
about that, but I'm never like close-minded to say someone like,
No, no,
"Hey,
no.
shut up." Like
No,
I'm not
that's why.
dealing with you.
No,
And
that's why I say, that's why the easiest thing I could come up with was to say, you are a very committed person, but you're still with me. Like,
yeah.
I am,
But you're not like the other
no,
side of the
no, 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 no,
spectrum.
no,
I
no.
mean,
But
it's not.
you're all, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you've heard me say stupid stuff,
Yeah, but I think
and but you've also heard me say, I I kind of realized why that was
yeah, and I
insensitive or
want to
why that was
learn.
stupid.
And that happens to me too,
Yeah.
because it's not like I
No, no,
am
no.
right always.
I know,
No,
I
of
know.
course that's
That's why
not
I
true,
say
but
that in our relationship, I think we have a space where we can both grow together, and I,
yeah.
and I think that that's so important for people.
Yeah, and always having like respect
Mm-hmm.
and love with
Yeah.
the way you talk to people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because hurting, like if someone's hurting and you hurt them too, you're you're not
Right.
getting anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have a
I've noticed
conversation.
that. Like, you can make honest mistakes, but if people sense that it comes from a place of compassion, like
Yeah.
that you're always a person that's gonna be kind of aware of other people, yeah, you're bound to make mistakes, but people people can be okay with them, or people can just say,
Or they can
"Hey,
help you grow.
that was weird.
Yeah.
Maybe what you said was a little weird," and then you can go, "Okay," but you can be like, "But," you'll say like, "Oh, but did you take it that way? Because I was trying to mean it. And they can be, and people are super understanding
Yeah,
also.
and also
That's why
I
I've
think
found in life, like people, sometimes we get so caught up in thinking that people are so extreme, but people are human beings, and as human beings, they can be super understanding. So,
yeah, I think it all goes back to like intention.
hmm
Like if you have a good intention, like someone can tell you, "Hey, I think this wasn't the best way to say it because of this, this and this." Because they sense that you have a good intention with it.
right,
And that's how you can learn from the things that you're saying.
right,
So, yeah.
yeah. So, what was the intent of
Uh,
the painting, Danny? Just to bring it back to the painting, so we finish up, so we remind ourselves that we were painting. Um, so yesterday, just to put it in terms of the context of the painting that we did yesterday, yesterday was about making something complicated, maybe equally as complicated. I mean, the painting just kind of flourished. It almost felt like flowers were blooming, like everything was just kind of growing in that hair. I think I described it yesterday. I don't even know if I said that, but that it just felt more. I know, hair is organic, but it just felt even more organic, if that's even possible. I don't know. Um, and today I wanted to tackle certainly a subject matter that's kind of complicated. The formal qualities of the subject matter are complicated, and it's not about recording every little tiny bit of what's going on in that plastic bag. You can do so. Like, this is a couple of hour painting. You can take 2 months in painting this little plastic bag, and it can be an amazing experience. That's totally doable. But as an object, and as a very nice kind of composition, my interest was just in saying, let me see if I can recognize those tiny little bits of where I feel the essence of this plastic bagness, rolled plastic bagness, resides in, and if I can make a painting out of that. So it is a painting exercise. Ultimately it is a reflection, translated into paint. So hopefully that was evident today. It was a fun painting to paint. Hopefully you guys didn't miss that much the palette. I'm sorry if you did, but hopefully you also understand that because we are working on this format, on a horizontal format, that it justifies itself. That it didn't seem capricious to just say, yeah, I'm just gonna make this horizontal just because. No, I think that, again, the left to right manner in which you read the painting, I feel had to be solved, in a format like this. So hopefully that was helpful. But I think I'm done. This is quite simple, quite open up here. But again, I think that with this being a little more complicated, it's kind of nice that it unravels into simplicity. So it kind of speaks about the core of it being very, very simple, but the accumulation, the addition of all this simplicity causes this kind of complex, being. So with these kind of sensible characteristics. So I hope that was cool today. We veered off a little bit. So, but if we are going to talk while we're painting, which is always, I think it's always like a kind of cool thing. Yeah, it means that we can openly talk
yeah.
about stuff.
So Gil Robles, he said something that is, I think, that is super true.
Okay.
And he says, someone's inflexibility is worse than making a mistake.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
yeah,
I think that's the only way out for our world. We can't view this world as 50% of people that think they're right, wherever, whatever they may think is right. I'm not saying I'm not saying no, but we can't see it as 50% of people that think that they are right, and then 50% of people that, and then those people seeing as the other half as them being wrong. I think will never be able to fix anything, nothing, if that's how we see the world. Nothing, because what do you do with half the population in this world? because I know I'm exaggerating, but look at elections worldwide, statewide. Look at how much, different like presidencies change, their philosophies. Some are from the far right, then some are from the far left. Then, a far right president gets replaced by a far left president. And then, 4 years go by and then that far left president gets replaced by a far right. It's always like the world is in constant flux. And, it takes us it'll bring us nowhere if we just think, yeah, I'm the person who possesses the truth and everyone else is like super ignorant. Again, what do you do with that other half? And
and also there's no definite truth. I mean,
right,
there's
right.
not like yes or no. It's like a
Because
super big spectrum in between.
right, but with the world becoming like super binary, like polarized to the nth degree,
Yeah.
I think that like spurs like hatred in both sides.
Yeah.
Like everyone, I think deep down, the people that are super polarized, I think they go to bed like thinking, "Oh, if I could be Thanos and just,
Yeah. And make
snap
them
my finger and just
disappear.
disappear the other half, the world would be better."
Yeah,
But
that's
that's
so
what they're
sad.
both that's what both extremes feel like. And I just don't think the world can be a better place when you think like that. So, anyways,
Yeah. So I was going to read
oh, there we
a
go.
comment about
Okay.
the painting.
Oh, thank
When you
you.
were talking about the painting, they said, yes, I especially love the little dark mark where the roll meets the unraveled part, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think
I
that
think
one.
it's that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's super important because
Yeah.
that edge is lost. There's very tiny little value change in this area, a little bit of a hue change maybe, but then we totally needed that midtone and then that little bit of dark. I don't know if it's in the right place, like exactly the right place. I think there's a lot of drawing issues there. Like it's not going to be exactly right, but it feels like that. Once we turn the photo off and once we have this painting to look, when we look at this painting and this is the only testament of what that plastic bag felt like, that experience felt like, I think that's when we realize, okay, that's faithful enough to that feeling I feel.
Yep.
Faithful enough to that feeling I feel. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Talk about choosing your words wisely.
Yeah.
That was terrible. Yeah,
Silence.
I know. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, but thank you everyone for joining us today. They're saying I feel the painting is more believable than the photo.
Oh, no way. That's awesome. That's super cool.
Yeah, so as I was saying, thank you guys for joining us today, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, join us tomorrow, same time. So 2
p.m.
p.m. Eastern time or 2 p.m. GMT -5.
Or if it's
No.
no,
Or
no,
2 p.m.
I was
local
gonna make
Colombia
no.
time.
Or if it's easy for you, just we're going to post the countdown
Right.
on Instagram and on YouTube, so you can turn on the notifications and you could be here tomorrow with
Yeah,
us.
and if maybe you weren't aware, just ring that little bell. And yeah, I hate saying that.
No, but
like
that's
I don't like
true.
it.
I mean, ring the bell.
I don't say it.
Like, share.
No, come on. But I don't say it, but I'm only saying it because people say I
Yeah.
didn't get notified. So just be sure that maybe that little bell is clicked, and for sure you'll get like a notification as soon as we go live, or as soon as we post like like a thumbnail where you could say, hey, we're going live 2 hours from now or 3 hours from now or something like that. So
they're saying smash that like
yeah,
button.
no.
Smash that like.
No, we're still
But
honestly.
smash it if you want.
Yeah,
I mean,
if you want, but
what does that does? I mean,
what? Smashing like?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Does
no.
it change?
No, smashing
something?
smash
No, I
doesn't
know
really.
what smash
You don't have
means.
to click the shit out of a mouse.
No, that's not what I'm asking.
Where's my hammer?
No, listen to me. I was asking, what does a like does to a video? Do you know?
I don't even know.
Like, is it
I
good
don't
for
know.
the video? Because
I know. I don't know because there's Call of Duty videos that are some of the most unliked videos in like the internet,
Yeah, and they're popular.
and they are incredibly popular.
Yeah.
So I have As long as there's views,
Maybe
I
is
think.
it because of interaction?
I have no
I have
idea.
no idea.
Yeah, we know nothing about this. Don't.
Yeah, but
If you
smash
guys were
that button.
if you guys were seeking answers with us, oh no, we are
Yeah.
in the dark here. We don't know.
Yeah, ring the bell and we'll see you tomorrow,
No,
guys.
cuz honestly, we don't like what we do. Danny doesn't like we make a living off of selling our paintings.
Oh yeah,
And
because we've talked about this
yeah,
before,
but
but
we don't have a not
our
nearly
YouTube income is like
like
nothing. I mean,
no. And
$80.
October that I was
$80, I
yeah,
mean.
October that I was out for like 2 weeks. Oh my god, it's pathetic.
Oh yeah, they're saying likes and dislikes both show engagement
Right.
and likes get you viewed more.
Okay, so
So
it's so
smash
probably
that like button.
nah, we don't like we're always I don't know if you've noticed Annie, but we always get around, maybe like 1,000 views. Like I think our average aside from some videos that have more, our average is usually like 1,500, maybe 2,000 views. Like average, on average, which is totally fine by me. And we always get like 100 likes or something. That's what I've noticed. I've never cared, but that's what I've noticed. And that seems so
But it's
pathetic.
not like if you don't care in a bad way.
No, no,
I
no,
mean,
no, 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 no,
it's
no. It's
more
not
that
like a
we're
yeah,
not,
like what I was saying about Instagram. Like
we don't usually
it's
look to the
no,
numbers.
no.
So
Like analytics is a tab that we never click. So,
I'm
but
just curious. I want to see the video with more views.
most
Whoa.
views are we amazing?
Well, for
Amazing.
me, we are. It's
Like
35,000.
35,000.
Yeah, that's a
Wow.
lot.
Yeah, that's
And
what
the list.
James Gurney gets that, half an hour after he posts a video. We needed like
Yeah.
2 years.
So I was trying to look for the list, and the page crashed.
Oh, there we go. That's a
So
message.
yeah, zero,
Could you
zero
imagine?
views.
It's probably like a painting that I really liked, which would make me really mad.
Now I want to see what painting,
Which one
what
is that? Yeah.
video has the least count of
Oh,
views.
let me know.
So,
It's
and we'll
probably has
let
to,
you know.
but it
for-
has to be no. But think about it. It has to be like a recent one. That would make sense.
Let's see. I don't know what's going on. It's just okay.
It's that 100,000 type,
So
size that you have in my screen right now. Oh my god.
you see, it's not
Well,
like
because we're streaming and you're trying to load something. Our
Yeah,
internet
but-
is not that good.
no. It said data is currently unavailable for some videos.
Oh. Yeah, but it's probably the newer ones for sure. That's why it's saying that. It just makes more sense that the newer videos have less views.
Oh, it says spoken painting.
Spoken. See? I told
and
you.
that's so bad. 818.
Oh yeah. That's
I thought
that's
it
a
was
shame.
a little bit higher.
That's
than
why I said
that.
yesterday because it was a really cool idea, but it's also a really stupid idea.
But we had fun.
Well, I was completely committed. And by the way,
we haven't.
the paintings that I did for that week
Oh,
kicked
they were-
ass.
yeah.
They were super good, I feel.
Yeah.
Like that one painting of you, I think that's one of my best paintings.
Yeah.
The one that you're looking down,
Yeah.
I love
yeah,
that
that was
painting.
super good.
I love that painting. So,
Yeah.
anyways, we're just talking,
Mm,
trash right now. So, we're going to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. You were awesome. That looks so blue on the screen, Danny. That's
Yeah.
like crazy
Yeah, yeah,
blue.
yeah.
That's not even close to the
Yeah,
that's
but
probably
that's
yeah,
why
that's the
I have-
camera and the white balance.
That's
it's,
why
it's
I
so
have
tough.
to do like color correction
Yeah.
to videos.
Yeah, that's like insanely blue. Like my painting is far grayer and I would say more purple, maybe. Yeah, that's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, because I haven't seen like the
The painting?
Yeah, the actual painting, and this one looks like
yeah, that's like
blue. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways.
yeah.
Anyways, thank you guys.
Thank you, everyone.
We'll see you tomorrow, 2:00. See you.
Bye.
Bye. Ciao.